Sega.
No, I'm having that playing properly, thank you very much. If you're wondering what's happening is I've turned the volume down in the game, but for some reason the opening cutscenes always want to play at maximum volume. So I'm trying not to deafen you, believe it or not.
Sega.
I'm going to say this now to preface any bitching that happens in the future. If you're looking for effective, standardized, rational, tactical decision making, you are in the wrong place. Right? This is 40k. Tactics don't exist. Right? 40k as a whole has been about one thing and one thing only, and that's ultra violence. That's tooth and nail struggles. Like, well, coming out of extended lore, sure. If you're gonna read books and all that sort of stuff, then yeah. But primarily, particularly games, the models, only the guys use them. Yeah, because apparently the Space Marines have never heard of sound strategy, and even the ones who have are not great at them. Anyway, 40k has always been about desperate struggles, constant warfare. Like, there is no winning in 40k for any side. Like, and there is no good guy either. As Tavar said in the disc, there is no good guy. The Imperiums are just the Imperium is just the least bad. Having said that, they're a totalitarian fascist dictatorship that is all about purity, and they have very loose morals on what that purity actually is, whilst absolutely enforcing things like gelding, torture, penal labour, lobotomizing people into mindless servants, that kind of thing. So there is no real good guy, or at least a good guy you can root for, because no, the Tau don't count. There is a good guy. Right there, Justin has hit the nail on the fucking head. The good guy is the side that you rally behind. That's it. That's the only way you can pick a good guy in 40k. Literally the only way. Because 40k does a fantastic job at prefacing each race, each faction, with justifiable good things and justifiable bad things. Chaos seeks to be free from the mind-crushing tyranny of the Imperium and seeks only true freedom. Having said that, they're often a group of fucking slathering maniacs who absolutely love adorning their armor with the skins of their enemies and have somewhat of a fetish for blood. And those are the slightly more tame ones. There's worse than that. Boy, there's worse than that. Catch my drift? So, if you're looking for sound strategy, you're in the wrong place. We're here for ultra-violent and dumbass things that are actually purely exist for cool factor. Okay? Okay. Having said that, man, do I love that intro, even though it has the worst scream ever recorded in history. And man, this opening screen, holy shit. Like, any fears that this wasn't going to be true, like, this game came out like, I think it was 2005, I think this game came out. It was a very long time ago. And believe it or not, this was, the model quality you see in front of you right now was considered good. I know. I'm just going to do something to the capture real quick. But yeah, that model quality right there is considered good. Honestly. I'm going to try something and see if it works. There. But yeah. Yeah, as Tavar says, the technology in 40k is weird. Space Marines are technically they're gene-modified, cybernetically enhanced super soldiers. Catch my drift? Like, and there's others. Man, is there others. I mean, basically every part of, like, 40k form the bedrock of a lot of sci-fi. Now, so the technology is a bit wibbly-wobbly. I'll get more into the lore specifics later, but yeah, be prepared for some very strange technical lore. By the way, I'm trying this new layout with games that are with games that have this, particularly old games that have this this aspect ratio. They're locked to 4:3, and so I decided, instead of keeping it in the center and having overlays coming over the top of it and stuff, it looks all untidy. I'm going to lock it to one side and put stuff in the side. Now, what you're supposed to be seeing in that black space there is a chat box. For some reason, it's not working. So I'm going to fix that real quick before I get started. I thought I had this fixed beforehand, but you know what? It is what it is. Pop mute there. Tell you what, these trap boxes are shit. Right? Just don't want to work. Nope, chat box don't want to work. Awesome. Well, get used to that black space then. When I find a break, I'll set up the cat cam and I'll lure her up here with something. Anyway, ultraviolence time. Now, keep me briefed on things like volume, because being an old game, it's a fucking nightmare with the volume, right? So I've adjusted it to be as good as it can be right now. So be aware. Like I say, this game is from 2005. Now, quick thing before we get into the campaign, I wanted to show off this. Now, this thing was a fucking godsend back in the day, right? Because often, like, let's just say, Games Workshop know how cool their universe is. And they know that dumbass fanboys, particularly teenagers who have never really been experienced to a good sci-fi universe before, particularly one as dumbass and as appealing to people who just like violence, i.e. teenage boys, it is. I mean, to the point where I'm still into it and I draw many of my philosophical principles from it. Now, as dumb as that sounds, don't worry, they've been developed heavily since then, but I got my big ones from it. It educated me on many things. But thing is, with them, they know that their models are highly coveted, and as a result, they're expensive. The guy you see before you is a space marine, right? Okay, I'm just going to explain this for people who are watching this and don't really know anime. I was about to say don't know anime. 40k anime. I'd pay money to see that, actually. Anyway, for people who don't really know 40k, this guy's a space marine, right? Now, in the lore, he's a genetically altered, cybernetic super soldier considered holy by the Imperium, which has very limited technology. They have a whole history, but most importantly, in terms of the models, they are the easiest to assemble, the easiest to paint, and as far as the rules go when playing the tabletop, they are... Oh, yeah, no, don't worry. There's going to have to be a lot of that, at least at the start, anyway. But no, I'll try not to go too much in depth with it, and I'll try and space it out as much as I can. But particularly at the very beginning of this game, I'm going to have to mansplain a lot. I know. Just, forewarning. Anyway, but yeah. As far as models go, like I say, they're the easiest to paint, easiest to build, and in terms of the rules, they're basically all-rounders. Obviously, Warhammer 40k and Warhammer in general being a tabletop battle game before it was anything else. Now, it means these guys are designed to be very approachable. Their units are all fairly survivable and can deal out a good deal of damage in the terms of the tabletop. This makes them very easily picked up by people who don't know tabletop gaming and don't know model building. So they are basically CW's flagship boys. In fact, I'm going to colour them in the correct livery. There we go. It's yeah. When you see Space Marines, you'll often see them like this, blue with gold outlinings, right? There's a particular chapter called the Ultramarines. Don't worry, I'll get on to their organisation later, because you have to go through quite a bit of the history in order to do that, which we won't do here. But yeah. Point being that he is because he's the most approachable and they're the most easily picked up by players, they're the most marketed to people and the easiest to sell because of their sheer cool factor. Games Workshop know this and like to jack up the price for plastic miniatures. Now, bear in mind that these miniatures probably cost like pennies, if that, to manufacture for Games Workshop. One unit of 5 of these guys, this particular unit that you see before you, a tactical space marine, runs you about 25 quid for 5 of them. And these models aren't big, they're like... a Space Marine is about as tall as space between your thumb knuckle and the middle knuckle, and like the middle knuckle of your thumb, right? Like the midsection of your thumb, that's probably about how tall he is. Know what I mean? That's a pretty, that's a pretty good model for how big he is. There. And yeah, 25 quid for that. So you can expect how much cool shit like this costs. Yeah, like this is a Predator tank, standard tank for all Space Marine forces. Yes, it's a box. It's done that on purpose. Anyway, this thing will run you 50 quid easy, and that's in British pounds. I'm sure the markup for fucking Europe and America is hideous, particularly right now because of Brexit. So yeah. These things are... Ugh. So, you gotta remember, that's yeah. They are the way they are for a very good reason. So yeah, CW are famously stingy. Anyway, point being that because they were so expensive, and now I'm remembering the point I was trying to make, is that you often couldn't know what a new idea for building a model and how you were going to paint it. You never knew how good it was going to look until you saw it before you, and unfortunately that did mean getting a model, having to pay for the models, having to pay for the paints, which are a whole scheme in themselves, because a whole monstrous range of paints. It's huge colour scheme, to the point where I actually know the names of more Warhammer colours than I do actual colours, you know? So people go, oh, I like the Scarlet, you mean Mephiston Red? No. Oh, what about this? Oh, cool, yeah, Gunmetal Grey, I like that. It's Cobalt. No, it isn't. What are you talking about? Oh, I really like the colour of your hair. Yeah, it's like Sotek Green, right? Stupid. There. I say, and they're a racket in themselves, and then they get you to buy the Citadel fucking brushes. And if you wonder who Citadel are, they're the company that manufacture all the art stuff, all the tools, all the brushes, all the paint, and they're a fucking racket in themselves. Have no fear, because they're basically, I think they're owned by Games Workshop. I think they're like a subsidiary. But yeah, in the end of it, you've spent probably about, between all of it, you've probably spent about like £40 to £50 on just one squad of infantry and a bunch of paints. You know what I mean? So basically, the problem was that you would often buy all these things, you paint it, you build it to perfection, and then you get to the end and you don't like the paint. Because, holy hell, it wasn't a good idea to begin with. This all changed with the Army Painter. When Dawn of War bought this out, and this was like one of the first games that Games Workshop ever lent their license to, and it was a fucking monster as a result. It's not really, I'll say this now, it's not representative. I'll get onto what you said in a moment, it's not really representative of the tabletop in any way. Alright? So, not representative. But as far as the universe goes, it's perfect. It's a brilliant thing. Story's crap because it's written by one of the worst authors in fucking Games Workshop history, C.S. Gotto. He is terrible. Fuck off. Yeah? Story is crap. Having said that, the game is amazing. Yeah. But with the Army Painter, you could test out stuff long before you actually had to put any money down, except for the game, of course. But you bought the game for different reasons. Point is, you can test out how everything looks before you actually had to put any money down for the models, and the models were expensive. So, catching my drift here? Like this thing was a fucking godsend. You know what I mean? Like, I can't describe to you how much money this Army Painter has probably saved people. You know what I mean? See what I mean? You can actually test out stuff ahead of time. There. If Bill gets 200 followers and he has to buy a Forge World Warlord and paint it on stream, bet I'll do that shit. You know I will. 10k followers and I build this onto one scale to piss my RL. Yeah, sure, and I'll commentate over it and I'll just be insulting you the whole time. Anyway. But by the way, as you can see, all these quotes down here are actually they're legit. Yeah, damn straight. I will absolutely do that shit. I want to do Warhammer painting streams for a while now anyway. But yeah, 200 followers, I will buy and build and paint a Forge World Titan. Plus 1.2k, I know. I will save for that shit. Have no fear. Having said that, if you'd like to sub to the stream, because I need money if I'm going to buy that. The piss take, don't worry. Anyway. Yeah. Now, having said that all, yeah. Shall we, that's about 20 minutes of forward. Let's get on with the game, shall we? I tested the mission if you were wondering. If you're wondering, this is baby difficulty, because this is one of those deceiving difficulty scales. This is baby, this is how you're supposed to play the game, this is if you like pain, because the AI is not fair. It's one of those AIs that just spawns units out of its ass for free in any position it likes. Not fun. I'm going to go with hard on this one. This game was very friendly to modding, so you could include your own scenarios. Back when that was standard practice. Yeah, remember what I said about the volume? It's really inconsistent. If you're wondering, orcs have the same physicality of silverback gorillas.
You will not falter.
And then some.
You will fight or you will die.
Correction, you will fight and you will die. Yeah, being a guardsman is not a fun job in this. And yes, persistent bodies is on full.
Captain Gabriel Angelos,
my man.
Raven's third company.
Literally best.
Status.
Best
My
go.
lord, forgive me. We have done all we can to stop the orcs, but we have failed. My men's lives are yours.
You stood your ground in
They
the
already
face
were.
of the Emperor's foes. You've done your duty. If your men have failed you, I will leave their judgment in your hands.
Thank you, my lord.
I am not here for your thanks. This port must be held if we are to maintain troops and supply lines to the planet's surface. That is why we are here. Now, what of the wounded and the civilians?
Stranded. We have few ships.
Then you shall have
imagine.
more. All Bloodraven flights execute Protocol 23 and initiate civilian evacuation. We will dispatch the ground forces.
And
Yes,
by
my lord.
that,
Ground
Justin,
forces, my
I want
lord.
you to dress up
But the orcs
and
have
I want a
retreated.
picture.
You must know your enemy to defeat them, Colonel. Orcs only retreat to regroup. They will keep coming until you or they are dead. Brothers, let us destroy this alien filth.
Yeah, in case you couldn't tell, I'm a big fan of the Imperium. I'm a very much an Imperial Boy Scout, but I have my favorites. I'm a sucker for chaos, if you're wondering. Okay, so, believe it or not, the scroll keys are not W, A, S, and D, so I just skipped over the man, the myth, the legend. So I'm going to quickly attack my default. Oh wow, they actually don't let you re-keybind. That's disgusting, actually. But I'm going to have to get used to that.
We will crush the enemies of the Imperium.
So the gameplay in Dawn of War is actually incredibly simple, right?
Ready.
It was never anything special, but at the time, you got to remember,
My
RTS
aim shall not falter.
was very much a fringe
We must start capturing strategic points.
genre.
These three closest strategic
Ever
points will do
vigilant.
for now. This day let us capture them first, and then move on to the others.
Taking
Splendid.
hits.
The stronghold is complete. We must now set about establishing a proper frontline base.
Yeah, so the problem is that you've got Gabriel Angelos on the field here, and he's also talking in the story box. So he will often talk over himself, which, you know, gets confusing fast. You've done.
The first thing we need is a chapel barracks. That will allow us to call down more space marines.
Space Marines.
Ever vigilant.
So the actual gameplay is fairly simple, right? It's build base, capture strategic points to get this blue resource called requisition, which is primarily used for the actual acquisition of units. And then with that, you build army, build structures, get strong, kill the other guy. Fairly simple, right? This green one is literally just power. You build generators. It's primarily for research and big heavy tanks, right? It's the harder resource to generate, believe it or not.
Initiating attack
But
protocol 23.
I say the actual gameplay rather simple. So. Oh, that's not done, is it?
The chapel barracks is finished. Now you can build some more space marine squads.
Get armory out. Yeah, these little things are Gretchen. They're the bottom of the Orcish totem pole, and they're okay. They call them builders, but slaves. I'm gonna get a couple more squads out. I'm gonna recruit them to the front. Okay, you can't upgrade the listening posts yet. But yeah,
if we are to defeat these
at the
orcs,
time,
we will need to call in some special weapons.
I'm fully
We
aware.
must build an armory to get access to them.
Oh, I know why they're not. Back. Whoops.
Attacking as ordered.
That's right. I should actually turn this off, because this is actually a terrible idea. They move.
Praise the Emperor.
Faith is our shield.
Yeah, there's a thing over there, isn't there?
Those Imperial
Stand
Guardsmen
ready.
look like they could use some assistance.
Oh, they could
Come
always
on,
use
brothers,
assistance.
Make haste. The
Our
enemy
prayers
must
have
be
been answered.
nearby.
Here come the Space
What's your
Marines!
order? Cleanse. Purge.
Yeah, get used to the voice acting because the general unit.
Excellent. The armory is operational. The Space
The,
Marine squads can now upgrade their standard
Beware
bolters
the
to
alien.
flamers and heavy
The
bolters. The heretic.
the voice acting in this game is frankly stellar. Like
Marine squad deployed.
even the general units themselves are just fantastic. In fact, I'm going to turn up the voice volume just so you can hear it, at least for this first mission. But yeah, like especially when we get to some of the chaos characters, like holy shit!
We must
it's
not
just
forget
fantastic.
our power needs.
Be my brother.
Building a plasma generator will supply us with the power we need to keep our force going.
We are the Emperor's chosen.
The Emperor protects.
Anyway, at the
Heresy grows.
10K,
mindless.
you don't
Area
true self.
secure denies.
You have no idea how happy that will
We
make
have
my father.
captured several
are the
strategic
Emperor's
points.
chosen.
Capturing
get up there.
strategic points and building listening posts on them earns us
Faith
more
is our
requisition
shield.
resource, which we can use when we build squads and equipment. It is time to hunt down the source of these orcs.
If you're wondering,
They
I'm
must have a base somewhere within the walls of this Imperial
basically
facility.
I'm waiting for
Plasma
Gabriel to
generators will
shut the fuck
continue
up.
to produce power at a constant rate. But there is a limit of how many
Faith
plasma
is our
generators
shield.
can be built
Faith
per
is our
stronghold.
shield.
So yeah. At the time that this came out, there wasn't really all that much RTS to go around.
Awaiting
Your
orders.
basically your options were like, I think really your options were like fucking
Yes, most
StarCraft
beneficent
1, which was from 1999,
Excellent.
2000
The
if you count
point is
Brood
now
Lord.
protected from an orc retaliation.
Yes, most
We should continue
beneficent
to
one.
build listening posts on
What's your
all
order?
our captured
Stay
points.
vigilant, brothers.
I'm actually gonna grab these guys
Praise
as well.
the Emperor.
And yeah, so you had like
We are the Emperor's chosen.
The Emperor
StarCraft
protects.
1, which was sprite based, and by the time this game
Faith
came out,
is our
quite old.
shield.
You had Age of Mythology, which was good, but
Understood.
not quite at the scale that a lot of people were looking at. Bear in mind,
Direct us
it's,
to the enemy.
it's only 2005.
Direct us
Computers
to the
still
enemy.
weren't great at this point. A couple of flamers.
Direct us to the enemy.
Yeah, I guess. As you can see, you know,
Yes,
shit in this game
Lord.
gets expensive fast, and
Heresy
building up
grows from
big
This
army
day
quickly is
shall
not
be a
hard.
glorious one for the Imperium.
Is not all
By
that
my
easy,
command.
really.
Attack!
But the general gameplay loop is that you know
And
You take-
orc camp.
you take
And look
points.
there, a break in the
Attacking as
spaceport's
ordered.
defensive wall. They must have blasted their way in.
Well then.
We must destroy this orc camp and any others these foul creatures may have constructed.
Your building all the way up. Taking yours. Not quite there yet.
Praise the Emperor.
But yes, the general gameplay loop is build small army to be able to contest some points on the map.
Attacking as ordered.
Use that to 7th, and I'm going to call you that because I'm not German.
Excellent.
But yeah,
This
In the name
orc
of the
camp has
Emperor.
been destroyed.
Orders received.
yeah. So we're finally
Awaiting
moved on to
orders.
this.
Beware the alien, the mutant.
I thought it'd be a bad idea to have this and StarCraft going at the same time, so this is what it became. Wow, these guardsmen lasted a while.
Heresy grows from mindless.
But you know, we have superior firepower now, so yes. Like I say, you use that small force that you build in the beginning to secure some points, to get money, to build up a small initial base. This is fairly paltry compared to what you can build. Use that to get some money, campaign right. Oh yes, we're playing through the whole thing, and as a result, we're starting at the very beginning with Dawn of War 1. Yes. Use that to get some money, build a bigger army.
It is time we
What's
started
your order?
acting like it!
To be fair, you were doing a fairly good job of that.
Praise the Emperor.
Okay, so sorry, a lot happens in this game fast, at least in the beginning.
Orders received, brother.
They
Stay vigilant, brothers.
and you know you upgrade your starting units. You might get a couple of special units later on, which we haven't been introduced to yet.
The enemy is attacking.
And then you know you basically just turtle until you get your big stuff. What's that? Oh no, Dawn of War 3. There's Dawn of War 3. I don't know. That's news to me. Listen, I thought they swore off that they were never going to make another one.
Cleanse, purge, kill.
But yeah, no. I don't think I'll be doing Dawn of War 3 because Dawn of War 3 is terrible.
We are the
I mean-
Emperor's chosen.
It's not all bad, I suppose, but Saga ends with Apocalypse. Yeah, sounds great. Yeah, it's just it wasn't bad for what it was initially. It just really wasn't what fans wanted.
My faith is my shield.
Or Face is your shield, yes.
Weapons at ready.
It wasn't really what fans wanted, and it definitely didn't deliver on the promises it gave, because I'll get into this now, just so it's forward for later. Dawn of War 1, as you can see, is very much your traditional RTS. You know, you build units, you build base, you kill the other guy on a map. Not hard.
Moving out.
Now the campaign does shift gears a little while in, especially with Dark Crusade, which is the third expansion. Second expansion. I don't know why I'm counting the base game as an expansion.
Space Marines, advance. They
very much are this way inclined, right? However, in Dawn of War 2, they change over to this new style of squad-based, much more tactical, thought-provoking combat, right? And it very much wasn't what people expected from 40k, right? Which is this, as you can see, these big spectacle battles with lots of explosions, lots of gunfire, lots of noise. Yes, yeah, 7 hits the nail on the head with the main issues with Dawn of War 3, but yeah. But yeah, I mean, and there was a big split in the fan base as to which one of those two was better, because the problem was that Dawn of War 2 was actually really good. The gameplay was solid, the way the game looked and played was amazing, the characters were really good, my boy Cyrus, Steve Bloom. The story was...
This day shall be a glorious
Objectively, the story wasn't great, but you will quickly learn that no story in 40k is really any good. And, but for... I mean, in traditional senses I'm talking here, but in terms of a 40k story, the story in 2 was really good. And, a lot of people really liked 2, myself included, but it took away the base building spectacle battles of Dawn of War 1, which a lot of people much preferred, particularly die-hard fucking Warhammer fans.
While the enemies of the Emperor
so Dawn of War 3 came out, and, well, at least it was announced, should I say, and it was very much like promising to bridge the gap between the fan base, trying to mend the rift between the people who liked building bases and people who like the tactical squad-based combat. Problem is, in doing both, they did neither well. So,
Ever vigilant.
So yeah, the base building was lackluster at best, not very well thought out. As Seven points out, they had hero units, and
mission accomplished. Maintain attack formation.
the hero units were very much like your main focus was the problem, because the basic units that you could build were frankly terrible, and
objective acquired.
it was basically all focused around the hero units. So, oh, thank you, Tvar. Money for Titan. Yeah, I'm gonna need it. But yeah, fucking.
Excellent. This orc camp has been destroyed.
I'm being distracted very easily right now. But oh cool, more guardsmen to hopefully help not die. But yeah, like I said, the hero units were way too powerful, frankly. As Seven points out, you had Gabriel Angelos guy who yeah. One load of water. Well done. In Tetris Pro over here. Well, I have to get you to play Tetris 99 one day. If you're wondering what that is, it's Battle Royale Tetris. It's fantastic. Yeah. Oh yeah. Sorry, you're continuing this trend of me trying to talk about things and getting endlessly distracted, because this game has so much I can talk about. There. Yeah, back, where was I?
Ever vigilant.
Yes. So, yeah, the hero units were entirely too powerful was the problem. As Seventh points out, the Gabriel Angelos unit that you can play, literally the same guys, where the fuck did he
On
go?
alert, brothers. The enemy must be nearby.
guy who, yeah, Gabriel Andros, this guy, he somehow survives all the way to 3rd. In my opinion, he died at the end of Retribution, but, you know, we'll get to that.
Cleanse, purge,
He's wearing like full Terminator armor. In fact, is it actually Terminator armor or is it actually Centurion armor? You know, the bigger one, the bigger than Terminator armor. Because he's fucking huge. He's like, Space Marines by their nature are like 8 to 10 feet tall in just default, right? They're already gene modded to be huge, and then they're wearing this really heavy power armor around it, right?
we are the Emperor's chosen. Initiating attack protocol 20.
But Terminator armor is like the heavier variant of this power armor here, and the one above that is called Centurion armor, right? I'm just going to push through and kill the orcs here. But one above that is called Centurion armor, which is even heavier and is really designed to be walking cover and a walking bullet magnet for the enemy because it's such a big plate of armor. They're basically like tanks on 2 legs at that point, you know. Also, the fun part of heavy bolts is that they're really long range. It's awesome.
I shall not fail.
But I'm gonna
Taking
beat
command.
this whole problem and
Today,
attach him.
the enemy shall know fear.
But the problem is he had an ability with the Thunder Hammer, which is a great big supercharged hammer, right? And he could leap like 100 foot in the fucking air with it. And
He who stands with me shall be.
even that was too much even for Warhammer fans who can suspend their disbelief like the best of them. You know, like there's a lot of stuff you just kind of have to not question when dealing with Warhammer, particularly 40k, right? There's a lot of really dumb stuff that you just kind of have to accept, and even that was too much for fucking Dawn of War fans. I forget the dots of guns explodes when you destroy it.
Cleanse,
But
purge, kill. Commencing attack. Initiating attack
let's get this
protocol 23.
Orky fort dead.
Initiating attack protocol 23.
There, like I say, it tried to bridge the gap and it completely failed. So it tried to reconcile 2 loads of fans and it disappointed both by fucking up the base building and fucking up the hero combat by making them too powerful and massively unrealistic even by 40k standards, right? There.
Maintain attack formation.
But no, we will not be playing Dawn of War 3 because Dawn of War 3 doesn't exist.
Praise the Emperor.
Now, this is the part where I'm going to keep getting really confused because if anyone's wondering, my follow notification is literally Gabriel Andros' line in this game, which is "He who stands with me shall be my brother," and he likes to say it a lot. So every time he says it, I'm going to be whipping my head around, and I hate it because Pavlovian conditioning. Yay, first mission. It only took me like 20 minutes.
Excellent.
10 minutes
This
too long.
orc camp has been destroyed. There, that's the last of them. Well done, Blood Ravens. Victory is ours.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'll ask him. If you want, you can just drop him a message yourself. He won't object.
I am honored to be in the presence of a librarian. I wish to know how my men can better serve you. We shall wait for the captain to finish his prayers. I saw you stand against the orcs. You are a brave man, Colonel. I wish I could say the same of your men.
Ah, that voice acting.
I shall strengthen their resolve, my lord.
See that you do, or we shall do it for you.
You have something you wish to say. Say it, Colonel. How did you know? Even without my psychic gifts, it is obvious. Speak. Is it true your company eradicated a heresy on the planet of Cyrene recently? An exterminatus, down to the planet's last man, woman and child? Colonel, your company is welcome, but such questions are not. Do not ask the captain about Cyrene if you intend to remain in his good graces. Brother Captain, the Colonel wishes an audience with you.
Thank you, Isidore.
My lord, my Tartarus 37th Imperial Guard Regiment stand ready to serve you in protecting the city. They wish to make amends for...
They will have many opportunities to prove themselves warriors worthy of the Emperor. The Blood Ravens are leaving the city. Its protection is in your hands.
I will ready my men. May I ask what your next course of action is?
Orcs only respect strength. I intend to show them that we have it in ample supply.
Ah, such a good quote. Yeah, I'm going to be Bill-gasming over a lot of stuff here because, like, I am a massive Warhammer nerd. Always have been, probably always will be. So a lot of the shit is just right up my alley.
War Journal of Captain Gabriel Angelos. The situation on the planet Tartarus is grim. While the Blood Ravens crushed the main Orc offensive at the spaceport, the bulk of their force is not engaged. They gather in the wilderness, awaiting a critical mass of bodies that will overwhelm the Imperial forces in a green wave of death. War Journal.
I'm just gonna go ahead and go through that because trust me, those things don't really add too much. Yeah. Okay, Justin. But yeah, I'm just gonna use this because as you have heard, there is lots of talking in this game, so I'm just gonna very quickly catch up on chat with this one. But yeah, say I'll use Tava's point first because it's short, and it gives me an opportunity to explain something about the lore. So the chapter we're playing here is called the Blood Ravens. Basically, Space Marines are looked upon basically like warrior monks almost, and as a result, their organizational units are chapters. Small mobile armies of, I think, 1,000 Space Marines is the base, but not all of them obey that. Some of them go way over. But this particular chapter has a reputation in the lore, especially among the fan base, for lifting artifacts from other places. When I say other places, I mean literally everywhere and anywhere else in the Imperium. The reason for this is primarily in Dawn of War 2, you assign your units specific war gear, right? Like special guns and stuff. It's kind of like an RPG element sort of thing. And a lot of them seem to be from other chapters. Particularly, there's a couple of one. I think it's like a heavy bolter. I think it's a pistol, which is described as coming from the Blood Angels, and it says that fucking yeah, it says in the description of that weapon that the Blood Angels have no such record of a transaction of this gun being made to the Blood Ravens, which is obviously the implication that they stole it. So yeah, they're looked upon as the biggest kleptomaniacs in the entire lore. Basically, wherever the Blood Ravens turn up, hide your good war gear because they'll nick it. How to describe switching mobility? Oh, describing Centurions. Yeah, Centurion armors. It's like I say, it's more in Horus Heresy now because modern 40k lore doesn't really use it too much. Because so they fell out of use due to a certain element of the lore called the First Founding, where because originally Space Marines were in huge legions, and there were only 20 of them, and they were basically all like fucking, and they were just the galaxy crushing juggernauts. But bad shit happened without having to deep dive into the fucking 40k history, which, trust me, we'd be here for an hour longer if we did. Point being, shit changed in the Imperium. They had to break up the legions into much smaller forces, right? Yeah, that's the problem with that was that the whole idea was that they were they're going to be highly mobile, much more reactive as opposed to the large, like, system sieging forces of an entire legion, right? So a lot of the time, a lot of the heavier stuff got dropped, including Centurion armor, which for the longest time was barely ever available to buy in a model form. They've returned it now, but it is what it is. There. My name's Gabriel. Sorry. To be fair, it's a very common name, and well, Gabriel Angelos is. I mean, come on. The bottom right. No, kind of, yeah. Anyway, yeah. So I mean, Gabriel Angelos. It's like, get it? This guy's an angel. Yeah, it's not exactly stellar writing. I mean, but yeah.
You have your orders. Now go. And may the Emperor protect you.
I do not care for all this sneaking about.
I know, old friend. You always have preferred the direct approach.
We have the Imperial Guard. Why not send them into battle instead of treating them like glorified shepherds?
Basically what they are.
If we meet the Orcs in force, they cannot possibly stand before us.
We have fought the Orc 100 times before. They thrive on war. A direct assault on them would likely improve their morale. and simply attract more of them. The casualties would be enormous.
What are the Imperial Guard for if not to die for their Emperor? At the very least, we should retain a regiment to remain at our call. We have little support this far out. We would not want to be remembered for our carelessness.
We, old friend? Or me?
We are brothers, Gabriel. You know better than to ask that question. I know what this is about. There was nothing you could have done to save Cyrene.
Do not mention that place again, Isidore. Cyrene was my homeworld. My responsibility.
Before anybody asks, they never really explain what happened with Cyrene. Just that bad shit happened, and Gabriel Angelos
Scout
here
Team 3,
burned his own
do
home.
you copy?
Yes, my lord.
The local Imperial waterworks has fallen into Orc hands. If we are to reclaim this area, we must first retake this position. Scouts have infiltrated ahead of you and will assist you in your reconnaissance. If things prove to be more than you can handle, reinforcements will be mobilized to assist.
Getting into position.
If you're wondering, this mission is introducing the Scouts, who are the newest addition to Space Marine Forces. Which means I get to go into that topic. Ooh boy. Just bear in mind, a lot of this is going to be me gushing about 40k. Just make peace with that now.
This area is crawling with orcs. We should infiltrate to sneak past them. Do not get too close, or we may be spotted.
Yep. You good? Okay, you good. Never forgive Horus McKinney. I mean, yeah, I mean, you're talking to a guy who literally has the Blood Angels tattoo on my arm. He was my daddy too, man. My daddy too. Yeah, technically Carbandha killed him. A fucking
Taking heavy fire.
Yes. Kill him.
It's true.
Got spotted immediately. That goes about as well as my normal stealth attempts. Oh, just fight them in melee, will you?
Scouts awaiting orders.
I turn on like always on health bars. Now, awesome. Blood Angels are overly edgy, piss off.
Yes, my lord.
There's definitely worse. I mean, more Dark Angels I can't
Move
stand.
ahead and mark any enemy positions.
Okay, so this is going to go well.
Lining up our
I think it
targets.
might actually just be quicker to do this. There. What was I about to say? Oh, yeah, the whole Space Marine Initiate thing. Yes. Words. There. Yeah, the way Space Marine select recruits is fun. Town. Really?
This area is
basically.
crawling with orcs. We should infiltrate to sneak past them. Do not get too close, or we may be spotted. Commencing
Excellent.
infiltration.
Your Scout Marine squad is now
Yes, my
invisible
lord.
to
Scouts
all
in
enemies
position.
except for commanders.
Scouts
Keep in mind,
advance.
though,
I
if you
sense
are
danger.
attacked, your
We will root it
invisibility
out.
will be
We will move
broken,
ahead
and some
mark
time will
any
pass
enemy
before you can
positions.
utilize it again.
I sense danger. We will root it out.
Very much when you trigger the
Commencing
Qui-Gon. I mean,
infiltration.
yeah.
On patrol.
You know, they're bright red and they go mad sometimes. All I needed. Yes.
Infiltration.
I mean,
Scouts here.
as a self-spoken fanboy of them,
Wretched
I'm not going to
Xenos
say
are
he's
guarding
wrong.
a strategic
Scouts here.
point.
At your
Scout
command.
Team 2 is upgraded with sniper rifles. They will make short work of these orcs.
Yeah, anyway, the point is that
Scouts awaiting orders.
how Space Marines pick up their recruits is, shall we say, not efficient. Basically, what they do is
Scouts awaiting orders.
a aspirant, as they are called, has to be. I think he'd have to be like a really young teenager. I think 13 is like the high barrier of how old they can be, and this is primarily because of the change they'll undergo. Adults simply can't take the transformation. I'm going to sit here for a moment. What to do? But they get them all on Arena. Now this varies between chapter to chapter, but they get them all on Arena, and they're like, "Okay, Fortnite." Basically, they all kill each other until a handful are left, if any at all. And once they do that, they pick only the guys who killed the most and survived. Now, they don't care if it's necessarily brute strength you made it through, or cunning, or magical powers, or what. Some people in this world are born psychos, as they're called, basically wizards. Without going too much into that. They then go through a number of other trials, especially depending on which Legion chapter, rather, that you happen to be joining. They'll have different trials For example, the Blood Angels are all about, shockingly, blood. The Raven Lords are all about being quiet and stealthy. The Salamanders are all about fire. Catch my drift. And then it's even funnier. They saw open their chest and keep shoving painful organs into them whilst pumping the most noxious toxins in the known to man into the room. Just sawing them open, shoving organs in there, and then leaving them for hours on end in a massively painful transformation. And if you make it through, you get to be one of these guys, a scout, where you wear the thinnest armor and are put in the most high-risk positions. You have to be one of these for, I think, like a few hundred years even. You know, even let them fight space marines. Yeah, another point. They sometimes make the new guys who haven't fully grown into their augments fight fully ready, like battle-hardened space marines who probably have like 400 pounds on them and several fucking implants on them. So, you know, fun times. And out of thousands of potential recruits, all of which may have been more than willing or able to join the Space Marine bloody
Scouts here, lining up our
join the Space Marines themselves, are all killed. And out of thousands, they may get 1, 2 if you're lucky, new recruits. That sounds massively inefficient. That's because it is. Also, snipers are broken. Not only do they do this thing, which is called breaking them. This little blue bar here isn't energy; it's morale. When it runs out, units die faster. Basically, you can get them. You can get weapons that the whole idea of it is that they sap morale to make your enemy easier to kill. Right? Particularly, it's snipers, machine guns of various descriptions. I think flamers do it quite a bit. Monstrous creatures, tanks, explosions, that kind of thing. They sap the enemy's morale and make it really easy to kill them. So often, not Space Marines so much, I think more Eldar, but they'll use weaponry that intentionally saps morale in order to, you know, soften the enemy up, make them easy to kill. Also, snipers are a one-shot kill, and they can instantly deal huge damage, if not outright kill, very valuable units. It's hilarious.
Scouts ready.
I'm going to roll
danger. We will root it out. Commencing infiltration. Wait for them to pass before we attempt to sneak enemy positions.
No. My cursor back, asshole.
Search commencing.
So are they going up this way, or they are coming this way? Cool.
Search commencing. Scouts here. On patrol. Scouts here.
The enemy is attacking!
Oh,
Scouts
what the hell?
ready. Scouts here.
No, you go into combat, and I'm going to pull the sniper guys back.
Into position. On patrol.
Or run forward, that works
we
too.
will take them down from here. On patrol. Search commencing. Our aim is true. Gathering intelligence. Scouts awaiting orders.
Well, just
gathering intelligence.
Trying to get the orcs to fight the guys who don't have the sniper rifles, so I can use the sniper rifles to do that.
Getting into position.
Get back. Go help your friends, asshole. There you go.
Enemy is in our sights. Scouts awaiting orders. Scouts advance. Getting into position. Yes, my lord.
Yeah, you should be fine now. That works. Being
yes, my lord.
subjected to surgery with your doctor refusing to use anything other than a chainsaw. You're awake the whole time, and that overly religious guy refuses to not burn incense the entire time, basically. Scouts, yeah, and then they cry about the lack of new recruits.
Scouts advance.
I mean, they recently remedied this with Primaris Space Marines, but you know, OG Space Marines, best Space Marines, because they're so stupid, it's awesome. Oh yeah.
At your command.
And I wish the fucking chat box would work. I hate
position.
looking at that fucking huge black box. In fact, I'm going to make another swing in it. If it doesn't work, I'm just going to put the creature count up. Okay, I want chat box, please. New source. Call it chat box 1. There. Make you taller. Let's call you 900. Let's make you thinner. 50. 4,500. That. Okay, done. Put you there. No, that's nearly ideal. Have you? It would be great, Mr. Chatbox, if you would, you know, feckin' work. I'm gonna leave that there, and hopefully it'll start working at some point. Right,
Scouts in position.
just press on a bit.
Yes, my lord.
A bit of stealth in this
I
time.
sense danger. We will root it out.
Okay.
Getting into position. Commencing infiltration.
I know, didn't help
On
that you
patrol.
baked in that time.
Gathering intelligence. Attack. On patrol. Scouts charge.
Everyone set up for range, and then rise. Yeah, this shit is. This was bullshit in multiplayer, by the way.
We will root it out in position.
Particularly because
Scouts here. Search commencing. Search
fuck
commencing.
me.
Yes, my lord.
no, go away. Go away.
Commencing infiltration.
We keep running. Tell them not to shoot.
Gathering intelligence.
Okay,
We will move ahead.
They've
Mark
run away.
any enemy
Fucking
positions.
spring unit walks on me. Like, for some reason they made a stealth mission
Commencing
second.
infiltration.
Odd. I mean, I get it. They're teaching you how to use that, but was it Eldar
Scouts
in this?
ready.
Are because
Scouts
in this
ready.
game they went with the 4.
Scouts
I'll wait
awaiting
here for a
orders.
moment. They went with the 4 classic 40k races. The 4 that started it all when the whole thing, when 40k released, I think in like 88 or something. I can't remember. They had Space Marines, Chaos Space Marines, Orcs, and Eldar. Basically, good guys, good humans, bad humans, elves, and barbarian orc race. Simple as.
Yes, my lord. I sense danger. We will root it out.
And the down just a touch. There we go.
Yes, my lord.
In this, the
Commencing
Eldar are the
infiltration.
bullshit stealth boys, right?
Getting
They
into
are
position.
all about
There's our
like
command. A large orc nob who looks like he's in charge of this bunch. Scouts awaiting orders.
No, don't.
Severely weaken the orc morale. Commencing infiltration.
I wanted you
I
to
sense
get away
danger.
from them, not
We will
run
root it
toward
out.
them, dickhead. There. You already have a functioning gold goblin. I mean, he does, let's be honest.
Commencing infiltration.
Oh, I killed the knob, right?
Gathering
Gotcha.
intelligence. Scouts awaiting orders.
Okay, so I got these guys. Let's set them on him.
It's true.
Yeah, the not up for the stuff. I hate the walls. To be fair, in Warhammer Fantasy,
The orc knob is dead. We will take it from here.
oh, finally, great! I get to punch things.
The Emperor protects.
But yeah,
Praise
in
the Emperor.
Warhammer End Times in particular, like
Purge, kill. Fear our wrath.
Yes, my lord.
Beware the alien.
but yeah, particularly in Warhammer Total War, I loved
I shall not fail.
I love the dwarves
We are
and
united
all their
in
tabletop stuff
his
as well. It's just
service.
lovely looking. They're just technologically advanced hyper Vikings. Awesome, love that stuff. Who are really short. Yeah, in 40k, however, it was like a very short period of time, but they had this race going, this like sub faction in the Imperium called, I believe they were called like the Squats, and they were basically space dwarves, right? And for their time, they were actually really good. I mean, they were a fun design. They were really funny looking in a very Warhammer sort of way. They actually kind of were quite dangerous. They were basically Imperial guards that could take a punch and actually shoot straight, which made them really good. But they discontinued their model line because they weren't selling quite as well. And you'll notice this to be a trend with Games Workshop. They will quite happily discontinue entire fucking model lines just because they weren't selling as well as expected, and I hate that shit. So yes, Noblet. Indeed, no love for the stunties.
This day shall be a glorious one for the Imperium.
And I find it to be a terrible shame. Like, it's like fucking Talon as well. Like, they discontinued a oh God no.
Well done.
Discontinued.
The waterworks are under our control, brother.
Yes, my
Now
lord.
we must start building a base before we hunt down the rest.
There
of
was
the
a model
orcs.
line called Talon.
Enemy positions.
They were
Let us
like
capture these strategic points and establish a base of operations.
they were like Arabian guerrilla fighters, basically, and they're actually really cool because they made great use of cavalry, like normal like horse cavalry in 40k. Problem is that they didn't sell well because apparently, and I'm quoting text-to speech here, they didn't want to. Yeah, the bikers were awesome, man. Good point. But yeah, the
secure.
yeah, apparently people who play Imperial Guard didn't want
Beware
to
the alien.
buy anything that didn't look like Rocky Balboa's cousin or a direct rip-off of
Scouts
Starship
awaiting
Troopers.
orders.
And I'm quoting the TTS there. For anyone who's wondering, if you're even marginally interested in Warhammer, go watch If
Position
the Emperor Had a
secure.
Text-to-Speech Device. It's an online web series that it literally covers the theoretical question: what if they hooked up a text-to-speech device to the Emperor who was sat immobile on the Golden Throne for actual millennia?
With all due haste.
And it's fucking hilarious, to be honest. Like, it's awesome. But yeah, that was the problem with it. Like the Catachan Jungle Fighters, for example, are basically Rambo's rejected cousins from Alabama. And they sold really well because they just look like gruff military men who look like they have a brain cell between them. And yeah, and they fucking discontinued Talon because it didn't sell as well. And they discontinued Mordia because it didn't sell as well. And they discontinued the Elysians because it didn't sell as well. GW, please, stop. Like, I'm primarily a guard player, right? TCS is canon, everyone agrees that. Yeah, no, TCS is absolutely canon. Primarily because its later episodes are just fucking glorious. Holy shit. The scene where the Star Child is born, good stuff. But yeah, I'll have to get to watch that. And in fact, Thea tonight, I'm still umming and ahhing about what to watch, because we basically finished Girls and Panzer, and I can't really find a reliable source for that's finale on the. I did it again. For those wondering, him saying that line, "He who stands with me shall be my brother," is my follow notification. So every time he says it, my head immediately whips round, and I'm like, "That happened? What? Damn you, Pavlov." Anyway,
Here to serve.
but yeah, it's I'm primarily a guard player, and I do wish I had some models to play with that weren't guardsmen, crap guardsmen, conscripts, or guardsmen with actual equipment, which used to be called the Cascrin. Now they're called the Auto Tempestus. They look slightly cooler, but I do miss my Cascrin because they look like Imperial Guard, just meaner, which I liked. You know, but they discontinued the Cascrin, turned them into the Auto Tempestus, and yeah, what about it? Or instead of movie. I like movie night, but to be fair, Civ ain't going anywhere. So I can probably just move out Civ, because Civ is there just kind of as like a chill time waster. So I'll tell you what, Saturday we'll swap out Civ for Hoi 4, if that is acceptable to thee. Can I upgrade you with rifles yet? No, you require an armory. No, I can. Get the increased number of that. So I think that actually lets me give every unit in scout squads, fucking sniper rifles, which makes them nothing short of artillery batteries, and it's hilarious. There's actually no point in building power generators because, well, we don't really make use of them. Deploy that. I think they take population when it's built. Yeah, they do. So, unlike StarCraft, which gave you which ups your population number the moment it's
yes, Lord.
you queue up the unit, should I say? Sorry, I'm a bit scatterbrained at the minute.
Yes, my lord.
Sorry, for those wondering, I get streamer brain hard. Like, I don't know why, it's just but yeah, basically damn it, I forgot. No, probably wasn't important anyway. But
Yes, my
let's
lord.
construct additional stuff.
Scouts
Thank
in
you.
position.
Somehow the StarCraft reference reminded me. But
At your command.
yeah, when you queue up a unit, it immediately took the population. Whereas in this, it doesn't take the population until the unit spawns. So you can often do that, queue up way more units than you would ever actually build. It'd even build the full unit, but it then wouldn't spit the unit
Scouts
out
ready.
until you lost something and your number went down. Yeah, so Justin is once again picking holes in 40k when, again, 40k is not designed to make sense. But yeah, no, it's a, as Evan says, it's just a saying that more points out the fanatical devotion of Krieg, in that basically every member of that society is ready, willing, and able to murder everything and anything that goes against the Emperor. Now, here's the problem with that: they never really state what that means.
Taking heavy fire.
And that you could say, you know, you have to raise regiments first, but it's more that, you know, they have so many volunteers that they literally just recruit entire armies and, you know, worry about organization later. See what I mean? Like, most of that unit died as soon as the snipers got set up.
Imperium.
but with its law and the context said line makes sense. Yeah,
By
precisely.
my command. Attack!
The red dust. Moving out.
I'm not going to bother
Reporting for
building
duty. Scouts awaiting orders.
flamers this time because I
Gathering
frankly don't
intelligence.
want them. I need them. Like the overwhelming firepower of the heavy bolter is, you know, more than enough for me.
He who stands with me shall be my brother.
Did it again. Ugh. Pavlov, you are a
This
bastard.
day shall be a glorious one for the Imperium. This day shall be a glorious one for the Imperium.
You know I will do this. I know.
Fear denies faith.
Like it's going to
Today,
be
the enemy
like
shall
the
know
best
fear.
thing for me during this campaign because you picking
Who
holes.
stands with me
It is
shall
again.
be my brother.
You picking holes in the law is like
I await
providing
your
me ample
instructions.
excuses to
Yes,
go on
Lord.
another lesson about fucking 40k. If wondering what's happening here, I clicked multiple units to capture this point, and as a result, they will quickly run around each other. Because only one unit here is actually capturing the point, but every unit here is a physical entity. As a result, when they want to capture the point, they kind of have to, like, find their way through the crowd. Like, excuse me, pardon me, I actually have to do this now. And the point will stay uncaptured until then. So this is a really inefficient way of doing it. However, I don't care because I have like streamer brain and I can't. Like, comprehending more than 2 instructions at a time will lead to critical overload and my head exploding. So
Area secured.
Walk softly.
we'll have them go down there. We're going to separate.
Scouts in position for duty.
I'm going to separate the scouts
awaiting
out, put them
orders.
on 2.
Search commencing.
Now there were points up here I could recapture, but I'm lazy, so I won't. I'm going to
Yes,
find
my
out what
lord.
this point's about.
Scouts awaiting orders.
Yes, Lord.
Them to build. Right.
Initializing build protocol.
Yes, my
Fine
lord.
though. So long as one of these units stays out the fight, easy
At your
enough.
command.
New regiment to build now. Well, the point is that they
Any enemy
recruit an
positions.
entire army's worth of people first,
Yes, my lord.
and then they worry about organization.
And carry a big gun.
That's just the kind of recruitment level Krieg's on. You know what I'm saying?
We will move ahead and mark any enemy
I'm gonna need bigger
positions.
guns, I think.
I sense danger. We will root it out. At your command.
The enemy is attacking.
Oh, they're tank busters, right? So they have anti-armor weaponry. Not that that will help them much here.
This day shall be a
I'm sure he
glorious
does
one
get the
for
point. It's just that they recruit an entire army's worth of people and then worry about organization. But you must remember that Krieg aren't really into the whole
Yes, my lord.
complex military strategy thing.
Scouts advance.
They're far more just throw bodies at the problem, and if we win, we win. Because what you're dealing with here is a particular imperial ethnicity that is basically just one big guilt
While
complex,
the
right?
enemies of the Emperor still draw
They,
breath.
it was one point in history
At your
that
command.
Krieg had a bit of an insurrection,
What's your order?
which is putting it lightly, against the
Onward
Emperor.
To glory.
Things happened, civil war ensued, and the Loyalists won, right?
Scouts ready.
This led to the remaining people of Krieg feeling really guilty about the fact that they turned their back on the Emperor, and now they all have a maddening devotion to try and give their lives for him. In fact, their morale is so high, they often have to be actively held back from running directly into the line of... This is the meme, by the way. Running directly into the line of fire in order to give their lives to the Emperor. Literally, that's how it goes.
Your instructions.
And as Tavar made the
Scouts
point in
in
the
position.
Discord earlier, like they have become a lot more ridiculous in recent history, right? They're just,
What would you have me
to
do?
quote what he said,
Getting into
they've
position.
gone from
On
you know,
alert, brothers. The
basically
enemy
World
must be
War
nearby.
II, sorry, World War One, frontier.
On patrol.
Yeah, I think they were called like the frontiers troops, but the
Emperor
stormtroopers,
protects.
where they were mad enough. The whole joke was that they were mad enough to go over the top, but they had the right
Scouts
equipment and
advance.
tactics to do it. To walking in artillery is like a personal hobby thing.
I sense danger.
I know I'm misquoting there, but you know, there's your thing. Like, you know, and that, like the Krieger national pastime is artillery dodging. You know what I'm saying? There is an army's worth of people, not an actually army. Yeah, precisely. Like, the point is that they organise them properly into regiments and the like, but
I await
Lord,
your
I've lost my
instructions.
services
I
because Orcs got powerful.
Praise the Emperor.
But yeah, point is
By my
that
command.
they're still organised properly and everything. It's just that they are recruiting regiments. Well, if you want to put it that way, they're recruiting all the regiments at the same time. Like they have so many volunteers that they just kind of shuffle them into regiments as they go until they hit like an entire like planetary invasion force, and then they worry about training.
Scouts here.
Point is, the joke is with Krieg is that they're overwhelming numbers and they are fucking fanatical in their faith. That's all you gotta know. How you doing? Hey, Dumpster. Yeah, it's always good to see you. Yeah, we're doing right. I'm moving on to the next big strategy franchise I want to play all the way through. That is Dawn of War, and we're going to be going from this one, which is Dawn of War 1, released in like 2005, I think, all the way through to Retribution, I believe. We might play a bit of Apocalypse. I know Apocalypse is a mod, but it's a really good mod, so I might play it. But yeah, rapid mobilization. Yeah, well, rapid mobilization would imply that they ever had a period of slow mobilization, which they didn't.
Orders received.
But yeah, they're basically always in a state of complete and total mobilization, and this is a point I have to make to you about 40k. Everyone in this universe, no matter what race they are or what their army structure is like or anything like that, everything and everyone is in a constant state of total war, right? The tagline to all of 40k is "There is only war," right? And the reason for that is that they literally never stop fighting, and there is never an end to the fighting, more to the point. The whole point of it is that you don't win the war, you just do slightly better sometimes, you know?
Heresy grows from idleness.
So it's literally just, there is only war, you never stop fighting. As I said at the start of this whole thing, it's more about, you know, the raw action, the ultra violence. Anybody who watched the Space Marine playthrough way the fuck back when will know what I mean. It's literally just, it's all about the ultra violence, it's all about the desperate struggle, constant fighting, and yeah,
Yes, my lord.
that's the whole thing. So I'm
Beware.
just going to quickly grab everyone together, make sure I'm not grabbing that servitor up there, make sure I'm grabbing those scouts,
The
make sure
enemy
I'm
must
grouping
be
the scouts into their own
nearby.
thing, and let's
This
go.
day shall be
There.
a glorious one for the Imperium.
It's not that any side is not trying to win the war, all of them are. But the point is that the war is on such a huge scale that basically the galaxy is it's been in a state of complete and total punch-up
Space Marines,
for the better part of 10,000 years. And even before then, it was a period called the Great Crusade. And during that fucking... And even after that, a Horus Heresy, which was a civil war in an ascendant Imperium, which was way more powerful than even the modern one is, and even the modern one's basically an unbreakable force.
mankind.
But yeah,
My aim
the whole point of
shall not
Warhammer is,
falter.
yeah, they just don't stop fighting, and that's the point. Like,
Follow me into battle.
the fact that they're fighting is more important than the why they're fighting. Which is why you can see that it appeals to teenagers a lot, because it doesn't require a lot of thought, just shooty shooty bang bang. There you go, sport. I'll just say, you know, they do make the point that there are places that are actually in peace, like, you know, they call them paradise worlds, where there are areas of relative calm compared to every other place in the galaxy, which is, you know, always on fire.
At your command.
I lost the...
This day shall be a glorious one.
There,
for
as
the
you can see, this is a
Imperium.
very old game, and as a result, you can only see 8 squads deployed at a time, but you can select more than that. So this gets confusing fast. So you have to click this little button here in order to scroll through all your units. Now this gets worse when you actually have units that you can actually use abilities on and stuff. Now the problem is, you know, it's such an only Star Wars. Yeah, Outer Rim Sieges, but on every planet. Yeah, basically, like the height of the Clone Wars, for example, is like all of 40k, basically. Good lord,
Walk
I apparently
softly
didn't capture this. Right,
and
let's
carry a
clean
big
that up
Stand ready.
to have
We
like money in the
stand
bank in
ready.
case I somehow fuck this whole thing.
Purge. Kill.
So we're gonna go up and around.
Attacking as ordered.
There. But yeah, as you can see, there's a reason why this particular universe appeals to a lot of teenagers, and that's primarily because it's incredibly stupid, and it's got this very dumb sense of humor, right? Because, you know, 40k was a British franchise, and as a result, it shares a lot of that humor. Siege is not an invasion, but okay, but you know what I mean. Like,
Space Marines,
point is,
At your command.
like, basically,
day shall
I
be a
think for
glorious
context,
one.
for those who don't know, the Outer Rim Sieges that I was referring to, there's a period during the Star Wars Clone Wars that were particularly gruesome and egregious and really grueling warfare, as opposed to, apparently the rest of it, which is easy. But so, yeah. It's but basically it's all like that. Ooh, a killer can. Nice. Awesome. I love dealing with armor with no anti-armor weapons. So we're just gonna shoot it down through raw firepower. The reason he's not really taking any damage there is because he was in a kill animation, which I hope to show you a bit more later. But yeah, as you can see, he's doing little animations with the soldiers that he actually manages to kill. And he's like temporarily invulnerable whilst doing that, which is bullshit, but it is what it is.
I serve mankind.
Point being, right,
Space Marines,
that
advance! He who stands
planets are being attacked and overturned to various forces all the bloody time.
Yes, my lord.
But like I say, using traditional monikers to talk about 40k kind of doesn't work.
my faith is
because
my shield.
an entire battle
Scouts in
could be
position.
called a siege,
Today
but
the enemy
that
shall
siege, like, when I say a battle can be over a singular planet and take actual years, and
for the honor.
you get to the point where like entire generations have been born, grow up, die, and then give rise to the next generation in the time a singular quote-unquote battle for a particular place in 40k has even finished. It's even gotten past its opening stages. Like, the point of 40k is that it's enormously overscaled, ridiculously so
I shall not fail.
warfare to the point where it never ends. That's the point. Like, the point is the fighting, and yeah, there are moments of victory, yeah, there are moments of defeat. Particularly, obviously, it's a long storied
Today
history.
the enemy shall know
But
fear.
the point is, they just keep shooting at each other. That's the whole thing. But anyway,
We are united.
did Mega
in
Wolf on the
his
side? Oh yeah, I
service.
remember that one. Point being,
Follow my lead.
like I say, this game's going to be fun because, as I say, I'm a massive 40k fanboy. Always have been. I think I was first exposed to it by a friend I met in school when I think I want to say like 13.
By my command.
And
Attack.
can't remember what I was playing at the time that made me turn onto it, but he basically rolled up to me and said, "Hey, you ever heard of this thing?" And
Moving out.
that was the watershed moment that the future was forever changed. As I've been hopelessly addicted to it ever since. The models, the games, I just love every aspect of it. And I'm going to disappoint a lot of people right now. I think Justin and Zavar know this, but the people like to guess what the first army I collected with. Now, again, I'll preface this with right now I am a huge Imperial fanboy with minor Chaos leanings because they just look cool and I like the whole aesthetic of it. Yeah, I don't know why the chat box isn't working. It frustrates me greatly. But I think at 2 hours I'll take a minor break while I try to fix it. Okay, but that's a little while away yet. So, but yeah. So I started up. Like I said, now I'm a massive Imperial fanboy. Can't get enough of some Space Marines. Love the Guard. Who wants to know what the first army I ever collected was? There's the unit that keeps dying. I was wondering what it was.
While the enemies of the Emperor still draw breath.
Everyone's still up to full strength. You are at one guy.
Praise the Emperor.
We will crush the enemies
What's
of
the
the
end of it?
Imperium.
Being small, yeah, I know.
Weapons at ready.
It's the problem with
Praise
40k
the Emperor.
to have numbers that people can understand and relate to in terms of warfare. You often have to make them smaller. Problem is, this will piss off purists who, when you consider the lore,
Beware.
minor expeditionary forces will be number in the tens of millions. You know what I mean? And major forces that are actually meant to go and take an objective can be
My faith is
almost
my shield.
billions strong, and like I say, it's the ridiculous scale of it all. You know what I mean?
The enemy must be nearby.
Oop, God, I've clicked down. Sorry, old game. It's,
Moving out.
that side. Okay, that side doesn't actually scroll. That's odd. Because this game was not designed with the idea of multiple monitors. Because as I keep saying, this game came out in like 2005, I think. So the concept of additional monitors did not exist yet. So it doesn't know how to comprehend me pushing the. Because if I go to like the edge of the screen right there, hits the zone and it'll scroll. But if I go way too fast, it'll pan over to the other screen. So you know, old game.
Moving out. Stay vigilant, brothers.
Arcadia something else.
Fear
Yes.
our wrath.
I've hit a wall. The objective here. Excuse me? You're fucking with me. Where did I leave him?
Yes, most beneficent one. I will do as you ask.
I've done that. Killed the orcs on the land bridge. So you're telling me to win the mission, I just had to build a power generator, which I didn't build because I knew it was pointless to me. Fucking ridiculous. Because I like talking and I want to know. Ah, there you go. But yeah, don't worry, like I said, there's a lot to... Here's the problem with 40k, Justin. There's a lot to it, and as you are learning with me, 40k nerds have this problem where they like to gush a lot. I mean, like, because often 40k fanboys are so into the lore. Literally, I had to build a fucking power generator to win. Wait, babe. Cleanse the valley. Oh, do I have to literally kill every orc? Find all orc bases.
At your command.
Means that way.
The Emperor protects.
Let's pull them all the way back. Yeah, no, there's plenty of people who wouldn't find it fun. And this is the thing with 40k. It's the ridiculous nature, the very unrealistic, even by fantasy standards, ideas of 40k that people often don't find fun. You know, get it? Oh, there's billions of men, and oh, there's weapons that can level planets, and but there's like 6, 7, 8 existential threats going on all at the same time. Ooh. People don't like that. You know, it's fucking stupid. There are other people, however, who find it really cool because it's so huge. Point being that the main issue with 40k fans is that they tend to be quite gatekeeperish. Because, you know, they're very protective about their franchise.
Yes,
I've always despised it, but
As you wish.
like I say, they tend to gush a lot, so when someone's curious about 40k, they often have this problem where when they try to talk to someone about
We
it,
will
they're like,
need more than heavy bolters to defeat these orcs.
I'm trying to explain a problem
We
here.
must upgrade the stronghold to gain access to the tools we will need to destroy this
Lord.
plague.
You are absolutely fucking... Oh, I did get... It's fine, note for the future. Anyway.
Yes, Lord.
Yeah, they tend to be...
All due haste.
Whenever someone's curious about 40k and they try to get into it... Oh, by the way, Justin, I think you're going to really enjoy the next game after this, which was Winter Assault, which was an expansion that added the Guardsmen, but, you know, we'll get to that. Anyway. But they do one of two things whenever someone's curious, and that's either they gush way too much and, you know, start off at, like, the really deep-end lore that they personally find really cool, try to turn them onto their army. Like, Necron players are fucking notorious for this, right? Fucking... I'm actually going to turn the music up, this is great. But, yeah, they get, like... For example, Necrons, right? They're a bit better now, but originally they weren't great for beginners, because the way they play and the way their models are built, they're very spiky, and they've got, like, lots of little, like, niches and stuff, and then that, like, paint can get into and clog quite easy and look really awful. You got to be like really fine with them, and and Necrons in particular rely a lot on washes and like the various oils you can put on your models to make them like look a bit more detailed and stuff. But this is the thing, like they try to turn them onto their personally favorite race, which is really hard for beginners to get into. Like Dark Eldar, Necrons are really hard, and Mechanicus are fucking awful to paint, because there's just so many little bits and so many particular like little like devices and stuff that you got to paint, and they're often like 600 different metal colors.
Sergeants will inspire your Space Marine squads to greater feats of heroism, and rocket launchers will make short work of orc buildings.
Yeah.
To me, my brothers!
Charge!
Little NPC volume. You just unlock sergeants, which just ups your morale. Anyway, but yeah, they tend to try to turn them onto their favorite armies, which are often fucking awful. And
Praise the Emperor.
they try to get them into the deep lore straight away, which often people just aren't prepared for
Walk
because
softly and carry
often
a
it's
big
either
gun.
often
Scouts
A,
awaiting
really
orders.
stupid,
Beware the
B,
alien.
really complicated, and you wouldn't get it unless you read like
Fear
6
denies
books.
faith.
Can I quickly do that? You've apparently lost loads and I completely missed it. If I'm going to send them there... Actually, I tell you what, I'm going to send
We will
the
crush the enemies of the
Space Marine
Imperium.
squads there
We
and
must
send the scouts
upgrade
there.
an existing listening post with the fortified position add-on. This upgrade will increase the requisition income and
Finally, I
add
get to
better
build these.
defenses to the listening post.
But that's the main issue with it. When people are curious about it, they just get not bullied, but just scared out of it. You know what I mean? Because it's often like really big and overwhelming,
At your command.
or
Beware the alien.
and this is the belabored point I've been trying to get to for ages. They're really gatekeeperish. Like oh, you want to get into 40k? Oh, I don't think you have the dedication for it. You know how hard it is. Oh, how hard it is to get into this hobby.
The listening post is
You know, there's
now
many
earning more
books you have to
requisition,
play.
has
You
better
have
armor
to
against
read.
enemy attacks, and has a gun emplacement to strike back.
Oh, you need to know how to paint models properly, or no shop will ever let you play. And no, you may not borrow my paints, peasant. Oh, I look at this; it's so good, and I fucking despise it. I really fucking do. Like,
Scouts ready.
it's
What's your
so
Scouts in
unnecessarily
position. At your command.
gatekeeperish. Like,
Yes, my
I
lord.
just
We stand
despise
ready.
it wholeheartedly. Did Gabriel Angelos die?
Scouts ready.
Faith is our shield.
I don't like it. He's gone.
While the enemies of the Emperor still draw breath, there
At
can
your
be
command.
Doing up
peace.
here.
At your command.
On alert, brothers. The enemy must be nearby.
Oh yeah, might be.
Commencing attack.
That's something that I've always despised. Like, not bad to be fair, Seventh. That's not a bad Imperium of Man build. Oh yeah, point being that. And see, 40k is a fantastic universe. That is.
He who stands with me shall be my brother.
Thank you, fellas. Glad I could be somewhat entertaining in my rant. But anyway, point being that I say 40k is a fantastic franchise, and I would recommend it to anyone. And
Scouts awaiting orders.
if
Yes,
you
my
like
lord.
anything like model building or some stuff like that, you know, it's one of the best out there. The models are really high quality. The story is really good if you fancy getting
ready.
into it.
Scouts
But you know, you
advance.
don't need to. A lot of people just paint the models. Like, they don't even get into the lore of it. They literally just paint the models
My
and
faith
do
is
that.
Yes, my lord. Understood.
I love how the sergeant charges forward, trying to inspire his men, I guess. But yeah,
He who stands with me shall be
Did it
my
again.
brother.
but yeah, it's just that. And I personally despise that.
Attacking as ordered.
Slowly using bolts to kill this. Yeah, like, I'd recommend it to anyone, and if you're ever curious... Oh, cool, garden.
Beware the alien, the mutant, the heretic.
We will
Yeah,
move
if you're ever
ahead
curious,
and
just...
mark any enemy positions.
I personally build a lot, and I don't mind
Scouts
giving you some
charge.
tips. I'm not very good at the painting, but that's primarily because I'm cack-handed as hell.
Gathering intelligence.
But yeah. But yeah, the problem is with games, the shops or Games Workshop are often inhabited by these fucking
Scouts advance.
hyper nerd
Scouts
cave dwellers who are really gatekeeperish about their beloved franchise, and are like some of the most unapproachable humans in the world because they'll either lord your inexperience over their head,
Scouts charge.
or they'll try and push you into a race that is not built for fucking beginners by any stretch of the imagination, you know? But yeah, this is the problem with it. But like I say, I've always wanted to do some 40k painting streams, you know, just to get that on the go. I've got a camera. I really want to get a better one, but you know, money is money.
Lining
And
up our targets.
literally just buy some models. I'll decide one at a time. I might like get some guards and some like Chaos Space Marines to balance out and stuff. But we'll just we'll do that, and I'll literally just like put on some chill music or something. I don't know. Maybe to fit 40k, maybe it'll be not so chilled anyway. And we'll just paint some models, have a grand old time.
Scouts charge.
Is that all of them? Please don't. Do I have to
Scouts in
literally kill all?
position.
Yeah, I'm finally done with this mission. Holy shit, it took me like 30 minutes longer than it should have. But yeah, I wouldn't mind doing that at all. And as we discussed earlier, the the 200 follower goal is me buying, assembling, and painting a Warlord class Titan from Forge World, which is 1,200. Don't tell the missus.
I must speak with the captain.
But yeah,
giving
I
the
don't mind
Emperor his
saving up
praise.
money for that because
Leave
something
him
I've always
this
wanted to do,
moment.
and doing on
Yes,
stream is
Brother
just very
Librarian.
on brand for this channel.
We completed
So
our sweep of the area and can find no
rant
more
over. Sorry.
orcs.
Indeed. Tell your squad to move ahead and clear the company's path.
Yes, Brother Librarian.
Oh, here we go. The best voice acting in the entire game coming out from Sindri. Can you actually say
I
anything
will
here?
suffer no trespass.
Oh, he doesn't say anything. You'll hear Sindri later. Like, to quote Thunder Psycho, a guy on YouTube, great guy, you should watch his stuff. His voice is like chocolatey poison velvet. So good. Yes, I would like to continue.
The Orc invasion is far more serious than we originally imagined.
It always is.
The Imperial Navy, with the help of the Blood Ravens battle barge, the Litany of Fury, has regained tenuous control of the space around the planet. However, the number of Orc troops and supplies that have reached planetside far exceeds our original estimates.
Oh, when doesn't it?
The Orc menace has spread throughout the low population areas of the planet. Civilians are fleeing in mass to the cities, where they hope the higher concentration of Imperial Guard can protect them.
They are very wrong.
Due to our recent actions, we were able to destroy several Orc forward
But,
encampments and kill many of them.
If you won't mind, but I'm just going to talk over
So
Gabriel
we can
Angelos here
expect
because
at
he's
least
not
a
saying a
brief
lot,
respite
which is setting up
from
the next
further
mission.
Orc attacks in
But
this area.
yeah, it's
The
just,
Blood Ravens have
as
returned
Tvar
to the
pointed out
capital
earlier, like,
city of Magna Bonum.
he's played plenty
Prepare
of
the
the
defenses
plenty
during
of like
this downtime.
Retribution and Dawn of War 2, but he's never seen or played Dawn of War 1, the very very first one. It seems very few people have. So I'm glad to like give this rarely played, rarely appreciated version of the game some light. It's primarily because, right, 2 expansions down, like we had Dark Crusade, and Dark Crusade did so much to expand this game in terms of races, in terms of how the game was played, in terms of the units available to those races, heroes. It did such a good job that basically people only ever played that, and the earlier versions of the game are really inferior for having come first. But I wanted to do the whole sordid saga, like the whole bloody thing, from this to Retribution. Now, I know this game isn't particularly long, so I don't imagine this will be a one-stream job, but we'll say the Orcs are originally just here, now they're fucking everywhere. But yeah, it's let's say I'm just glad to bring some light to this often underappreciated part of the game.
Brother Mateel, 2nd Squad is to man those buildings opposite the market streets. Go! Brother Tantheus, take 9th Squad and shore up our defenses along our southern flank.
Multiple
we need
systems,
those
star
gun
systems,
emplacements
large ship.
operational.
That's fairly standard for 40k. More before seeing, one of the OGs I see. Do you ever see the box copies of these? Like
silence that orc
the really ornate ones. Like I can't remember. I'm trying to recall exactly what they look like. But I remember there being one that looked like a chest.
I've taken the liberty of stationing my Imperial Guard around the key facilities, including the spaceport and power plant.
Your initiative is admirable, Colonel. But I need you to pull your men back to this location where they can concentrate their defense.
But if we
touch the tank
abandon
and it goes bang.
We cannot hold the spaceport, Colonel. We have to maximize our defense in one location to assure victory. Do not mistake the Orcs' simple manner for stupidity. They are far more cunning than they may seem. Now go.
Yes, my lord.
I'm just taking drink while I have the
do not
opportunity.
agree with this course of action. Why are we sitting back waiting for the Orcs to strike? We should attack! Surely it is better than doing nothing.
You would have us meet the Orcs on open ground? That would be madness. It is written in the Codex Astartes that this situation calls for a defensive action.
Of course. You are right. Perhaps patience is the better virtue here.
You were screaming murder just now. Anyway. Oh, damn, novel. Well done. One of the OGs, I see.
Brothers, the orcs have overrun the city. This transgression shall not
Because like I say, this game is, I want to say
We will
2005.
fight
I
until
want
the
to say.
last orc is dead.
to serve.
Heavy bolter
Knowledge
turrets
is
have been
power.
made available
Hide
to
it
us.
well.
Be sure to place their defensive power wisely. Landmines are now available for placement in our enemy's paths.
Yes, most beneficent one, here to serve.
Get another one of these out because we're going to need it, and then help with that.
Yes,
The orcs
most
maintain an
beneficent one,
iron grip
with
on the
all
city's
due
strategic points. We must
here,
break their
at your
hold and
command.
deny the
Vigilant.
orcs their supplies.
Awaiting orders.
Yes, my lord.
Fear denies
This thing,
faith.
damn it. Okay, so what's the objective? Capture strategic points. What, more of them then, I suppose. Keep upgrading these just so we get more money. Just building them into turrets actually gives you more resources. Do I get anything other than the... No. Oh well. Right, let's get some turrets out then. Really, we should be holding them here.
Objective achieved. Purge the heavy fire.
Get a listening post out there.
Never vigilant.
initiated.
I'm being selective about when and where I place my
For the
My
Emperor,
upgrades.
heresy rose from idleness.
because I need money right now to research everything.
Yes, my lord. Yes, sir.
But these Guardsmen infantry squads can go. You hear the voices too. Oh, the Chaos Space Marine voice lines are just—they're just the best.
My lord.
Pull back.
Through this, I know it. We'll get through this, I know it. Reporting, sir. The Emperor protects.
Venerate the
I
immortal
need
who stands
you
with
two
me
out
shall
in
be
front.
my brother.
Are you setting up that turret? You are. Are you two setting up this learning post? You are. You to dart over and get that one.
Yes,
You
most beneficent one.
listening post there. You are done, so you can come over here. Actually, better plan. You build that. You come here with him, and you build turrets in a very linear fashion. If you want to kill these orcs real quick, so we can get the men out of the way. Build that. And of course, he stands in the one position where he can be
Awaiting
killed.
orders.
Yes, most beneficent
Give me
one.
a bolter turret there. Rush over to build that. You idiots, go kill this. Right, sorry, I'm just a bit focused at the minute. Let's upgrade that so we can start getting some kit in. Ah, good, the bionics are coming in. Means I'm going to need more.
Yes, Lord.
I've only got these two builder units. Cool. Let's retreat you back to base.
Fear
Let's
denies
build
faith.
this into a listening post.
We stand ready.
The Guardsmen didn't just get themselves killed, did they? I feel like they did, but I'm not seeing any bodies. Yep, they're there. Awesome! Nice! Hmm.
Cleanse.
So, no,
To serve.
get you guys back now that
Yes,
turrets
my lord.
are established. Get you up there, start reinforcing you.
The
He
Emperor
lost his
protects.
squad, so we're going to lend you
Following
this
orders.
one. We can get turrets, but not just yet.
Yes,
There for
most
some reason.
beneficent one.
I need you to build two more
271
generators because we're going to need the resource. You're going up. Let's get the heavy weapons upgrade first. Start outfitting. I'm going to use rockets and heavy bolters, I think. Turn this one into a rocket turret when I get the chance. Turn this one into a rocket turret when I get the
What's your
chance.
order?
You stand in the
Well, here.
middle. I want
Beware.
Angelos over here.
The heretic.
Going in with that squad. And then
Knowledge is
Isidore over
Hide
here.
it well.
Like how they give Gabriel Angelos his own name, but he's just
Hope is the
Isidore's
first
just called
step on the road
Librarian.
to disappointment.
Hilarious. There we go, I finally finished it. Oh, good. Yes, I do need to play that again, and it's primarily because Sundays come up and that's when the family decided, hey, lockdown's over, we should totally
Yes,
do something,
Lord.
and I'm not going to say no because it's
He
been
who stands
actual
with me shall
ages
be my
since
brother.
okay, Justin is now the heretic
We
confirmed.
shall know no
Well, here.
fear.
But yeah, it's been actual ages since I
Hope is
saw
the
and
first
did
step
anything with
on
my
the
fam,
road
so
to
Reporting, sir.
disappointment.
I often can't say no. But yeah, I do want to keep streaming fucking Mechanicus on weekends. Something I wish to keep up. I'm going to upgrade squads first. It's something I like to do. I tend to upgrade
There is
first
no
and
such thing as innocence. Only degrees of guilt.
Love that line.
I
I tend to upgrade current units first. I'm very much a quality over quantity kind of guy,
I await
which is
your
ironic considering I play
instructions.
guard, but you know, it is what it is. And you're going to
Taking
keep
damage.
a servitor on each front because, you know, repairing is a good idea.
It's the first step
We're here.
on the road to disappointment.
Get the guardsman
We're
squads
here.
filled out because they can be quite big. Of course, there's a politician from Africa called
Today
Adolf
the
Hitler.
enemy shall know fear.
Africa are just
Venerate the immortal
oozing
emperor.
political incorrectness. I don't know what it is about them. They just love doing it. They can have five special weapons. If you're wondering what that is, that is the sound of, you know, my one and only in the background, playing in a very intense round of Monster Hunter. By the sounds of it, she's having fun, which I'm glad about. Start. Okay, I'm not going to bother then. Let's make sure things are upgraded and repaired first. Yeah, because he's starting to get low. You're done, so come out this way, start repairing shit.
Hope
Now I'm going
is
to
the
sit
first
these guys in the
step
middle
on
and
the
make
road
them
to
stand
disappointment.
ground. I'm not going to bother capturing the supply points
What
because
would
there's
you
not much
have
point.
me do?
These guys are ready, so we're going to sit them in the middle. Wait.
Yes, most beneficent
Nothing is
one.
particularly damaged, so we'll hold it there.
Venerate the
Where's
immortal
that
emperor.
servitor? There
I
it is.
await
Repair
your
that shit.
instructions.
Yes, my lord.
With fun and Inquisitor. This is what I mean.
The Emperor protects.
This is the problem with Justin, right? Like, he'd be a perfect Inquisitor. He
Reporting,
really
sir.
would be. But he gets God complex
We're here.
fast. So if he
Yes,
were an
sir.
Inquisitor,
Yes, my
he'd
lord.
be blammed
The
pretty
Emperor
quickly.
protects.
This is the problem.
Reporting, sir.
You stay there.
We're
I
here.
want no charging bayonet lines this time around. Did I not? Did I not finish that upgrade? Keep an eye on that one. Get two more. Actually, I'm going to get 2 scout regiments out. Don't need to bother researching infiltration for them. They're not going to need them. Oh yeah.
Taking damage.
This is the thing.
Reporting for duty.
To be fair, the Horus Heresy books are actually like a lot of fun to read. They're actually quite, particularly the first few written by Dan Abnett are fucking stellar. Like I've read up to, I think I'm up to Flight of the Eisenstein because I started relatively late for Warhammer fans, but yeah, I'm up to Flight of the Eisenstein, German word.
Infiltrating enemy territory.
Actually going to use
Scouts
these guys
in
to
position.
capture these things. They're actually, yeah, they're completely locked off, so we'll grab these. But yeah,
At your command.
I'm up to the Flight of the Eisenstein, and I'm enjoying it thoroughly. Love that book. Love it to bits.
Yes, my lord.
You're upgrading.
Scouts
You're
in
upgrading.
position.
Reporting, sir.
You are where you need to be, so you
Yes,
can
sir.
sit here. So they're on stand ground, so they'll
Emperor
move
protects.
and then they'll stay. Good.
We're here.
I'm gonna move you up a little bit this way because they like to come through this middle street. Yeah. Yeah. Excellent, I get that. Yeah. Also, well, you do have a thing for Empire. Oh, good, there's a fucking breach there. And I'm up to 6 turrets, which I
Yes,
believe is the
Lord.
max, but not for this game.
Defending objective.
I await your
I'm just gonna go.
instructions.
Area secured.
Okay, we need listening posts for these anyway, so let's
We
build
Yes, my
that.
lord.
Get you
Gathering
down there.
intelligence.
Rank will be good. Emperor.
Scouts ready.
Oh, we are descending into heresy
Yes,
very
most
quickly.
beneficent one.
Go to that and then got brain drain. Yeah, that's fair. I actually had. I'm on a break for it from the minute novel, novelettes rather. But
Walk softly. Carry a
I read the first 3. I got to the end of. Oh, they are actually finishing. They're just really long and multiple tier researches. Got to the end of the 3rd one. Horus Rising, I want to say, or was it Galaxy in Flames? I don't remember. But I got to the end of the 3rd one with the whole Istvan nonsense, and
To serve. Build routines
yeah, I got to the Flight of the Eisenstein, and it was like, oh,
Initializing
like,
build protocol.
especially like. Did you repeat the word you wish to be translated into German? I'm sure I could translate it. Where did I want actually translated into German? Oh, yeah. So the name of the book is Flight of the Eisenstein or Eisenstein, however you want to pronounce it. I know it means that's the name of the ship, by the way, that they're on about. But it's Horus Rising is the first one. And then Galaxy in Flames, and I can't remember the third one. But was Galaxy? Again, I don't remember. But I know it literally means, I think, because the ship name is Eisenstein, which I believe means Ironstone. But yeah, it's more the pronunciation, because I'm pretty sure that name was picked by an author who very much wasn't German. So, you know, shocker, I know. But yeah, I got to that one, and I am actually quite enjoying it. But as you say, brain drain hard, man. But because by the time I got to that book, it was, you know, the whole Istvan thing just left me drained. Oh god, some of the stuff that book goes into is just bro. There, I greatly enjoyed it. I'm loving the Horus Heresy books this far. So, great stuff all around. As I said, I've gone into the Horus Heresy books quite late for a typical 40k fan. So yeah, I'm enjoying them immensely. Is the point.
Marine
I'm
Squad
just going to put one
deployed.
there.
Pt.1 initiated.
I'll put one there for thoroughness sake. You just need to build that. You build that for, you know, being efficient. But, you know, like I said, I've thoroughly enjoyed the Horus Heresy books, and to the point where I'm actually considering picking up some 30k models. For those who didn't know, 40k was obviously their flagship, but
Marine Squad deployed.
a lot of people like to collect 30k, which is literally, it's called that because it's from 10,000 years before the events of Warhammer 40,000.
Weapons at ready. It is time.
Where the bloody hell did that servitor go? I told him to build that. Where did he go? Stop there. Build that, damn it.
I exist to serve.
Build that, damn it. Oh, they're stopping. Probably because the way's blocked.
Commencing infiltration.
There. Yeah, now they're running. Reading the
Cane.
Kane books? Yeah, they're really good. Yeah, they started selling a line of, as I say, they're called 30k. And that they are from the Horus Heresy. Because, you know, the Imperium was a very different entity back then, and a lot of people much prefer it.
Yes, my
Did I
lord.
move the other...
Ever vigilant. Understood.
False Gods is the False Gods and then Galaxy and Flames is the other one. I remember because False Gods is the one that goes into Horus's actual fall, if I remember correctly.
He who stands with me shall be my brother.
I did it again. I keep whipping my head around. So, yeah. A lot of people quite like how things are in the Horus Heresy, and sometimes prefer to collect them, and they do look really cool. Same dynasty. Yeah, the Emperor has literally no dynasty. Yeah, it's because the Emperor was born through, shall we say, less than normal circumstances. Thunder Warriors? Yeah.
Scouts
Well, I'm
awaiting
curious. Did they
orders.
ever actually
Yes, my
do a
lord.
line of Thunder Warriors?
Yes.
Because they were like
At your command.
this quick lore drop. I'm not going to drop the whole fucking thing, but
While the enemies of the Emperor still
before the
tremble
Space
at the
Marines were a
immortal
thing,
Emperor.
during a period called the Age of Strife, which was basically before the current human Imperium as it is existed. There was a previous human Imperium, which was very much analogous to how we, as modern humans, would imagine a galaxy-faring human civilization. Technically focused, very scientific in nature, that kind of thing. Bad things happened. That empire collapsed entirely, and Terra turns into Mad Max because, you know, Terra was such a developed world that it relied on other planets largely for its
There is no
supply.
such thing as innocence.
And
Degrees of guilt.
oh, they're sending me war tracks, really? Anyway, what the hell was I supposed to be doing? Because I've built up a force. Retake. So I am supposed to be pushing up. Okay, I'll start doing that in a moment then. I'm just building up forces, really. But yeah,
On alert,
Terra turned into Mad
brothers.
Max, and
The enemy must be nearby.
basically, so I'm going to keep a unit there.
He who stands with
Everyone
me shall
else
be my
comes
brother.
with
Follow
me to come
into
retake shit.
battle.
There is no
Which
such
unit
thing
that I
as
did behind? A
innocence.
unit of
Only degrees
attack
of
Space
guilt.
Marines then. Right, so you can stay there, and
Knowledge
the
is
rest of you
power.
are in
Hide
Group
it
2.
well.
We're moving out.
Move
We're
ahead.
going to blow some
Unlock
shit up. It's going to
any
be ace.
enemy positions.
Under fire.
Nothing else, but yeah.
Beware.
Then after a little while,
Lust and damnation.
the Emperor becomes a thing,
A
and he
sacred
creates these
machine
warriors called
cult
Thunder
has
Warriors to
misfired
unite all
and
of Terra.
landed
He then
somewhere
turns
within the
those
city.
guys into
We
Space
must
Marines as we know them
recover the
today.
structure and any
Basically,
survivors. Terror.
Tech,
My aim shall
like-
not falter.
think Mad Max, and then make super powered cybernetically altered
Enemy is attacking. We
super
are the
soldiers
Emperor's
in Mad
chosen.
Max. The result is as awesome as you think it
Faith
is.
our shield.
Okay, so I've got room for 2 more and then 2 more scout squads, so I think I will build a search and apply them to both
Blasted
sides.
orcs have built their infernal structures
faith
within the
is my
city walls.
shield.
Destroying these
Follow me
structures is
into
vital
battle.
if we are to regain control over the city.
The guards are never this effective again, because these guardsmen squads, which are 15 strong, are actually really good. I'm going to keep them there. That's built up as a defense.
Venerate
2.
the immortal Emperor.
Marine squad deployed.
Scouts
Hello.
reporting for duty, infiltrating enemy territory. Strategic
Kill
point
that, do that,
identified.
and then we can deal with this machine pit, which I just realised is here.
Scouts awaiting orders. Scouts ready.
Get them ready,
At your
dispatch them
command.
to either side,
Yes,
ready
my
to be
lord.
assigned.
Scouts advance.
Same with these guys, because I have plenty of money. Actually, now that I know I'm on the move, I'm going to use plasma guns
Marine
because they're more
squad
fun.
deployed, brothers.
And they're better against armor, which I'm struggling against, for the time being at least.
Weapons at ready. It is time.
Righty. Yay, Palthus. For that. Right. Yeah, cool. That's
Venerate
been
the
taken.
immortal
I'm not
Emperor.
going to build listening posts and everything, I'm just going
He
to take
who
it.
stands with me shall be my brother.
I am so not used to that.
For the honor
Position
of the chapter.
secure. Scouts in
Under
position.
fire.
There is no
You can
such
be in group
thing as
2.
innocence.
At your
Only
command.
degrees of guilt. An open mind is like a
Oh,
fortress
come grab this
with
guy.
its gates unbarred and unguarded.
And you
I
guys as
stand
well.
ready.
You're in group 2.
Scouts
Go grab that.
advance.
Emperor be praised. The machine cult is still intact. We must get a servitor to finish its
Yes,
construction
Lord.
immediately.
Initializing ground protocol.
Here's a dreadnoughts. Nah, here's the thing about dreadnoughts, right? They are the Space Marine life support system. Now, unlike normal life support systems that would require you to, you know, be under things like bed rest, stupid that is, they literally took a life support system, put their most critically injured Space Marines in them, and then attached a massive combat walker to the outside of it. Because in 40k, it's literally a case of don't let a small thing like being dead stop your fighting. Right, and then we should have a under-equipped unit here.
Enemy
Yeah,
are
there they are.
attacking. Fear our wrath.
On alert,
Them
brothers.
on one
the enemy must
and
be
move
nearby.
them up.
For the Emperor.
I am
You
the
guys-
instrument of his will.
Go.
Gathering
We now have
intelligence.
a dreadnought with us. This is
Yes,
going
my
to be
lord.
Mondo fun.
None can stand before us.
You're explicitly not dead.
Emperor
I know, but the point is, fine. Don't let a small thing like potentially dying stop you fighting. Happy?
Attacking.
By my command.
Like I say, they're just
Attack.
they're life support machines
Praise the Emperor.
with a combat walker attached to the outside. Yeah, living coffins. There you go. Right, we're going to use Team
For the
1 to move
honor
into the
of the
middle,
chapter.
whilst Team 2 pushes at the side.
For yourself.
And like I say, his voice lines are just
With courage,
smexy, honestly. We are a ranged group, people. Take this.
My faith is my shield. The revered dreadnoughts
Scouts
are
in
standing
position.
by. Build them
sense
at the
danger.
machine cult.
We will root it out.
Yeah, pull you back because I want to keep you. You're expensive. Oh, machine cult's ready.
I shall obey.
Oh, that's right. I need to research it now. Let's get that up. As you can see, vehicle population and infantry population, 2 different
On
things.
alert, brothers.
So,
The enemy must be nearby.
so you don't have to choose. I like the system so much when people refer to them somehow Rise for the Dead. I know, I get the point. But
Faith is eternal.
like I say, it's just a point. Don't worry.
It is better to die for the Emperor than live for yourself.
Accurate.
Commencing
Yeah,
infiltration.
the Dreadnought has some of the best voice lines in the entire game.
Yes,
I've
my
accidentally unbound Team 1 because I am what you call
I sense
clever.
danger. We
While
will
the
root it
enemies
out.
of the Emperor still draw breath, there can be no peace.
Yeah, I have
While the
built three.
enemies of the
Consolidating
Emperor still
position
draw
on the
breath,
objective.
there can be no peace.
Right, there you are.
Strategic
Shut
point
the middle.
identified.
Team 2, make sure everyone's kitted out.
Today, the enemy
It
shall
is
move.
better
Go.
to die
Right,
for the
you-
Emperor than live for
I'm going to push up
yourself.
to there. Team 1 is going to do the important work and we clear out the center column here. More like the Emperor is right now. Yeah, except they are arguably more useful than the Emperor.
Commencing
Because the Emperor,
infiltration.
for, again, those who aren't clued into the whole 40k mindset, the Emperor is very dead at the minute. Like,
I am the
at the end of the
instrument
Horus
his will.
Heresy, the civil war that we
Commencing
keep talking about,
infiltration. On patrol.
he was mortally wounded by his son, one of many, and is bound to the Golden Throne as basically a giant life support chair. And the joke is that the Emperor is literally just on a 1,000-year-long potty break.
Yes, my lord. Yes, sir.
Back.
Praise the Emperor.
I am ready to serve. Again.
Oh, keep that going.
He who stands with me.
I'm going to be whipping my head around to check for a follow for the entire duration of this game. God, let this be our one stream. Some orcs pushed up there, but we'll clear back through it. Make sure units that took losses are being replenished. Yep.
None shall stop us.
Beware the
Because they're going to run headlong into the turret line, so yeah, go deal with this again.
Beware the alien.
Yep, you're regenning.
I am the instrument of his
Sure.
will.
Yep, they didn't take any losses.
None can stand before us.
Gun Moon is it smells like noodles. God.
On patrol.
With courage,
Well, this is the thing. It's the Imperium of Man because that's exactly what it is. Humanity is mostly unified,
bodies.
and yeah, the point is that he represents the end goal for all human evolution. That's like the whole MO of his thing.
Destroy their minds.
So he calls it the Imperium of Man because mankind #1 woot woot.
The enemy is
None can
attacking.
He who
stand before
stands
us.
with me shall be my brother.
Oop, no, keep capturing that.
Infiltrating enemy territory.
I am the instrument of his will.
Right, clear through this middle
With
because I'm not
courage
convinced we killed
and
it all.
honor.
There we
None
go.
can stand before us. With
Consolidating
courage
position
and
of the
honor.
Praise the Emperor.
We're going to send Team 1 straight into the breach
enemies of the
and have them start clearing out orcs.
With courage and honor.
And then we're going to send them
With
through the
courage
middle.
and honor.
This day shall be a
Taking
a
glorious
loss, let's
one
get that
for the
replaced.
Imperium.
You've taken a loss, let's get that
Beware
replaced.
the alien, the mutant, the heretic.
I am ready to
Problem
serve.
with my word Imperium. Well, because guess here's a problem, Justin. The human faction in this particular faction is only ever referred to as the Imperium. It's not the Empire. Calling it the Empire will annoy a lot of people. It's the Imperium.
Walk softly and carry a big gun.
Even in death I still serve.
Scouts awaiting
Probably a
orders.
scout unit that's advanced too far forward. No, it's actually in the back. Oh, I see. A war track got through.
My faith is my
I am
shield.
the instrument of his will.
Oh, keep pushing that.
Praise the Emperor.
What part of charging to the jungle do you guys not get?
Even in
Oh, yeah,
death
this is
I
point.
still serve.
This is the point. Justin lays claim to all of English because apparently all English words are stolen and they just sound cool. It is similar. Really? You're gonna say Latin is similar? Based off my. I'm sure the Italians would beg to differ.
engaging.
In fact, I think Luca's got more of a right to be annoyed about Italian, like Latin words being stolen just because they sound cool than you do. English steals all your words. That's the thing with English, right? It's just the language of nicking everyone's words. Like, someone called Carl. Oh, he's busy for a minute.
Today the enemy shall know fear.
So yeah,
This day shall be a glorious one.
but yeah. Point being, English is just one of those languages that has absolutely no problem. Roman is not Italian. Fuck's sake, yeah. Well, neither is Greek. So if you're gonna pull that card, Christ.
Attacking as ordered.
Right. There.
Initiating attack protocol 23.
Feel
There.
He who stands with me.
It's very much a case of wow, the Guardsmen have taken heavy losses. What else is new?
On alert,
But
brothers. The
yeah,
enemy
it's
must
just
be nearby.
fucking English is just one of those like Frankenstein languages that has taken like all of its words from elsewhere. Like we've got like root languages in, I think it's Greek, Latin, Old Saxon, Old French, a lot of German. I think. Okay, here. Because closer to Roman.
I am ready to serve.
Triggering Justin is like the high point of my day. Oh lord. Oh, I love you guys. That's it, yeah. Point being. Because English as a language has a lot of its Frankenstein-esque measures come from the fact that it's an incredibly adaptable language, and it can be changed and modified to basically fit any context, which is probably why it's considered one of the more universal languages, because it can be bent and warped into a more workable framework for people who don't necessarily speak it. I mean, like, local dialects emerge, local slang emerges. Some Norse too, yeah, good point, Noblet. A lot of Norse too, because you've got to remember, a lot of Norse invasions came over and they helped themselves to our food, our land, and our women. And, you know, their culture changed English language and culture and traditions forever. Oh, I think we're done with this mission here. There. Byzantium spoke Latin? Yeah, it was one of those, because it was a core province of the Roman Empire for so long. Obviously, Latin and Greek were spoken quite a bit, so it was very much a mishmash in that respect.
Knock it off, all of yous. We's moving out.
There you go, there's some Orky speak.
We's not gonna stay and fight. I's the biggest orc here, which means I's the leader of yous lousy bunch of gits. We've been waiting and waiting to fight these marine boys, and we's gonna stomp them butt good. To do that, we need the strength of all the boys, not a small, weak mob of rats like yous boys. Use your skull for something besides thumping. We's orcs, and we's were made for fighting and winning.
You speak a lot of sense there, boss.
You're the boss. We's gonna go get Big Boss Orc among us. He got something special planned for these humies.
You see what? Yeah, Noblet gets it. It's just the voice acting in this game is stellar. Just sounds like Russian Australian. No, it sounds like common British to me, Justin. Gotta remember. And this is the point I was going to get into earlier. Because obviously it's it's very much British. It's not English. It's British. But the 40K being a fucking British franchise, they poured into it a lot of British humour, which is it's quite silly, is the point. Very ridiculous, that's a lot of the point of British humour. And the orcs are basically the culmination of British street culture, in that they speak very simply, they use lots of shortcuts and euphemisms, they often slur their words, and very old London, very precisely. They're almost like what's it called? A Cockney almost, but you know, they don't have like nearly as much as like the rhyming slang, for example. They're very much that way inclined. So yeah, they speak very simply, and they like to overextenuate fucking vowels, and they don't use S's, they use only Z's, and they don't use they use ah. So you basically have to speak like a fucking moron, and then you can speak Orky. Know what I'm saying?
The defense of the city of Magna Bonum was a success. The orcs caught us off our guard, but not unprepared. I will not underestimate these aliens again.
You will consistently underestimate these aliens, I will be honest. As you can see, the more you fight orcs, the worse they get, but you can't not fight them. This is the big problem with orcs. They are a barbaric race that literally just... They're literally just a race entirely designed around and obsessed with war, to the point where peace to orcs is utterly incomprehensible. That's my very little Brit. I'll piss off, will you? This is the thing, that their whole culture is strength orientated. They exist only for war. Like, the biggest orc is the one that's in charge. Their biology is even based around it. You kill an orc, they're technically fungoid creatures, right? You kill an orc, it releases tons of spores. Those spores find a place to grow and turn into more orcs. The more you kill them, the more you'll have to deal with. They thrive off warfare. They get stronger all the time the more they fight. So giving them a fight is exactly what they want. As you can see, they can weaponize basically everything and anything they find. They're very dangerous to fight.
Everything is ready, boss. Them humies is in for a good stomping. This is gonna be the best fight of their miserable lives.
Just make sure it's the last fight of their lives.
I don't take orders from you.
Oh, get your calves in before it goes away.
Me.
We've held up our side of the bargain, have we not?
Sindri!
You wanted a new planet to wage war on, and we have given it to you. You wanted to face the Imperium's greatest warriors, the Space Marines. They are here. We've even provided you with weapons and Imperial tanks to use on the battlefield. And all we ask in return is that you keep the Imperials distracted from our operations here.
You
Sindri.
kept your word, but that still don't mean you can order the orcs around.
My apologies. We've delivered the last of the weaponry. They're in the hands of your servants. We'll take our leave now. I respectfully request that you keep the Marines busy for as long as you can.
We'll keep them more than busy. We'll keep them dead.
Yeah, that's Sindri. He's fun to listen to.
The thought of kowtowing to these creatures disgusts me. The orcs are a tool, nothing more. And quite an effective one, I might add. Perhaps. But I dislike providing such unpredictable aliens with our own weaponry. Lord Bale, orcs are not unpredictable. Quite the contrary. You can rely on them to turn against you. But they will honor our agreement as long as we provide them with enemies to satiate their battle lust.
How can you not trust that?
Intimidated them into doing our bidding, showed them our strength. They would take pause before betraying us.
Big head here does not understand
cannot
orcs.
Intimidate something that knows no fear. Trouble yourself no longer with the orcs. We will have what we came for and be gone before they finish with the Imperials and turn on us.
Why is we talking with them humies instead of fighting with them? Them smelly chaos boys is weak. Not nearly
They're normally called
enough
pointy
of a
boys, but yeah.
challenge for the boys. If they were strong like orcs, they wouldn't need us to fight for them. We'll take their guns and their help, and when we're done chopping up all the humies, we'll come back here and chop them up as well.
What, they're always out of breath? Well, oh cool, a Squigoth. That's going to be fun to fight. But, yeah.
Orbital imagery shows a heavy concentration of orcs in the area. We must secure a location and establish
But
a
Sindri's
base
just
before
breathy
destroying
and
the war
Bale
boss
is just
and
angry.
his clan. Combine the holy fire of the whirlwinds with the jump packs of our assault marines. Cleanse this area.
Okay, now we get whirlwinds and jump packs. Basically, the longer range assault of this.
Ever vigilant.
Whirlwind artillery tank.
Yes, my lord.
Yeah, whirlwinds are literally just artillery. That's all they are.
Fear denies faith.
Whirlwind here.
Okay, just G to attack ground. Cool.
They will never see it coming.
They're just rocket batteries. That's all they are.
See it coming.
They reload fairly quickly for artillery. They're reacquiring targets constantly.
Triangulating attack coordinates.
And they're not able to hit it, that's odd.
His wrath falls from the
They're like
heavens.
out of range or something.
They will never see it coming.
Yeah, how odd. You're reloaded,
They
so
will never
shoot,
see
damn it.
coming.
There we go. Whirlwinds? No, not quite. I'm just stop.
Whirlwind
I'm just
artillery
gonna
tank
jump
here.
these guys down here.
Taking heavy fire.
Yeah, they're literally artillery. They're rocket artillery. Oh yeah, they share the name, but yeah, it's not quite the same function.
Moving out. His wrath falls from the heavens.
And are you actually going to fire this time, or no? Nice.
Preparing whirlwind missile
And now they
battery to
fire. This is my issue with whirlwinds in the first Dawn of War. They were really finicky, really indecisive about when they wanted to fire, even though they were meant to be and were advertised as indirect artillery. They weren't very good at it. As you can see, they're getting confused about their targeting a lot. So, like here, they should, they send down one, and that dealt with that.
His will be done. His wrath falls from the
So,
heavens.
you're actually going to load and then fire, or shoot there?
Falls from the heavens.
Shoot there.
We'll never see it coming. Whirlwind here.
Shoot there, damn it.
Preparing whirlwind missile battery to fire.
We stand ready. Awaiting orders.
Whirlwind
Do they have a minimum range or something? Like,
Taking heavy fire.
change their fire mode. Oh! I see. Oh, okay, no, they're still reacquiring all the time. Okay, if I change the fire, are they just going to fire automatically, or... Yay, thank you, Noble.
Direct us to the end.
Why are they on ceasefire by default? That sounds really counterintuitive. I'm going to get them out of there because friendly fire is really heavy right now.
Never
Pull them up.
Whirlwind artillery tank here.
Go. Okay, can we be done? Spawn slugger boys as they die. Hatred, all of them.
Heresy grows from idleness.
And I'm not making any money, so I'll tell you what we're actually going to do. We're going to cancel these. Save some wreck.
Whirlwind here.
Are they individual? No, there's just like 2 squads of them, which is odd.
Yes, my
I'm just
lord.
going to jump these. Actually, no, 'cause artillery fire. I mean, obviously I prefer Basilisk because guard and, shells beat missiles like me, but... Oh yeah, I got permanent defamation on as well, so these craters never go away, which is a lot of fun. Are we done? No, he lived. There we go.
Our scouts report the war boss is in the vicinity
good,
of this
they're going
location.
away.
It seems a second Orc clan has gathered between us. They are heavily defended on this plateau. They must be eliminated to clear a path to the war boss.
And there's a
Yes, my
thing there, and... there we
faith
go.
is our shield.
But yeah, I actually have to...
What would you have?
This is very much like a skirmish battle now. Like, they are...
Yes,
very much
sir.
asking that you just build up a force, move up across the map, and kill the other guys. The whirlwinds are fun when they want to work, and changing their fire mode just makes it they shoot at anything in range, which is most things.
Routine 721
So, yeah.
initiated.
He who stands with me shall be my brother.
Either works, honestly. Either works. What are we looking at? We're at 2 hours and 20. I think after this mission, I'm going to take a short break.
For the Emperor, your order.
Try and fix the chat box while I'm at it. And then we'll be back with more, I think.
We are the Emperor's chosen. Consolidating position on the objective.
From what I remember, this game isn't actually all that long. If I remember.
Here to serve.
You,
I will do as you ask.
finish that, then
Build routine
finish that,
721
then go to that. Thank you.
I await your instructions.
The 100, let's get over and do that.
Build routine 721 initiated.
And when they're done, they'll go to set up the listening post so we can get a bit extra
We
cash in.
stand ready. At your command.
Assault
You have no
marines
idea.
are now
It's
available to
about,
us. They can be built from the chapel barracks.
like I say, I have fully Pavlovian conditioned myself with that voice line. Every time he says it, it's just like, ah. Fuck's sake, I've cursed myself. Crap. I think Gabriel Angelos. I think that voice line goes away in Winter Assault. Comes back briefly. We'll be back with probably more of this because I won't have all that much time left.
Here to
Certainly not
serve.
enough time for a Hoi 4 MP, and certainly not enough time for a Mon Empire attempt because we'll be at it for like an hour.
I shall
Good,
obey.
he's jumping in the back of my base. My favourite.
Initiating attack protocol 23 at the 9 space.
So unless there's something else I could play for like an hour. I think this is like mission 4, right? I seem to remember there being like 12, 13 missions in this game.
Yes, most beneficent one.
Okay, that's dealt with. In the future, this gun emplacement should be more than enough. Yeah, I think I'd get like one mission in Mechanicus in the Civ, we could actually get on with it. Okay, we've only got 2 here, but we'll have to make peace with that. And there is a door, yeah, there is a way here. Yeah, you can cheat and kind of like back off down the, kind of like see the terrain with it. There's not complete fog of war. So stupid, I know, like, they're not supposed to do this, they don't have a hover mode. they're just, but they're jump pack, like I say. Any amount of time to, like, for those who saw the Space Marine playthrough way back when, Monastery, you'll saw that they are just jump packs. Like, they literally, the only thing they're supposed to do is give you the ability to jump really far in the air and hit the ground really hard. They're not doing that here. They're literally just enabling flight for Space Marines, which is absolutely not what they do. And it's triggering to Varhard, and I love that. Because I kind of made peace with it, because, you know, old game, first 40k game, they're going to get some things wrong, but yeah. You know, the jump packs are definitely something, from a lore perspective, is definitely something they got really wrong. I can actually could burn 150 on a bolter turret, but no, we're going to clean them out sooner enough, so it won't be worth it. I know. They sound like a vacuum cleaner. I know. I can hear it. They're not jet fighters, for Christ's sake. Don't stop making them jet fighters. I'm going to keep going because I need more money.
Maintain attack formation.
While the enemies of the Emperor still draw breath.
But I'd love to play Stick of Truth, but I am not brave enough. Like, I mean, it's primarily like Stick of Truth and
Machine Cult is ready to be requisitioned.
the South Park
access to vehicles.
The South Park RPG games, like, they're fun, but the kind of game you can only really play once, and man, are they're not child friendly.
Knowledge is power.
I mean, child friendly is not really what this game or this channel goes for, but what I really mean is that they are not Twitch friendly. Let's just say that South Park holds some views that, you know, the corporate overlords don't appreciate. Primarily in that you can swear and not care about it. I'd love to play them though. Like, I suppose they're not copyright dangerous, are they? Really? Unlike
taking damage. Captured.
What's the game I'm thinking about? Fucking Brutal Legend. There it is. Which is Brutal Legend, for anybody who doesn't know, is a game that's all about like the over exaggeration of metal culture. And when I say metal, I mean like the music. Right, and it's actually a really good celebration and a mockery of it. It makes fun of how ridiculous the whole thing is, and all that. But it, as a result, is absolutely fucking stuffed with copyrighted music, actual like bands' music from like the 80s and 90s when metal was huge, or at least when metal was being like incepted, should I say? I send one unit up there to stop the firing from these guys. Around, aren't they? In fact, Gabriel Angelos and Isidore can probably deal with that themselves, so I'm going to land them there. Okay, I'll trade you. No, you're done. Send you there, because I like that listening post, I'd like to keep it. Reminds me, if we do not have plans to move next, just stream stuff like, yeah, just something chill in the disc. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Just, okay, so they're not giving me the second upgrade for the fortress yet, so that's fine. Should really get some normal squads built. No, not that one. Aggression's sake. Problem with assault marines is that they get crack grenades, and crack grenades are not only have a funny name, but are your anti.
And long-range artillery are being made available. Build them from the machine cult.
I'd love to, but not yet. I want to get my infantry numbers up. But yeah. Yeah, we could stream some stuff like Stick of Truth and like chill like dumbass games that are like quite long-winded and really aren't suitable for Twitch in many ways.
Cleanse, purge, kill.
You know, Stick of Truth and stuff like that was very topical in the fact that you basically, in order to get the full yield out of it from like a Twitch stream perspective, you really had to play it at the time. So, you know, now no one's really going to play it because people who know the game and enjoy the game have already played it, and as a result, a lot of the humor and a lot of the jokes and a lot of the plot that makes that game really worth it, you know, they've already seen them, so there's not really much real point unless you just want to experience it again, which with South Park is iffy because I love South Park to bits, but you know, once you've seen the story once, there are some good jokes, sure, but you know, it doesn't quite hit you quite as hard the second time, and it, you know,
I await your instructions.
outrage only ever lasts once, and these days. You know, so desensitized to shock humor and stuff because particularly like Rick and Morty and stuff like that really ruined it because you know, they just kept going for the shock gag and you just get tired of it after a while. Really, you think you would enjoy from that? Probably. I just not put much thought into it. That and you know, I'm currently hooked on Silent Hunter 3, so I think I'll exhaust that well before I try somewhere else. But I would definitely like to try it. The concept is very appealing to me. We can't get up there to build that just yet, so we won't. Trying to keep focused, but like I say, I suffer with pretty bad streamer brain, so I say like there are definitely streamers out there that are just dickheads. You know, XQC comes to mind, but. You know, and they are just stupid. But streamer brain really is a thing. I feel like when it was released, South Park games really hit an empty niche. Yeah, exactly. Well, like at the time they were very appreciated because they hit, as you say, they hit that niche that a lot of games were looking for. Very much the classic RPG. And then the second one was very much a grid-based RPG, which a lot of people quite liked, including me. I played the shit out of that game. But you know, now it's like. Now you've seen it, you kind of don't need it. Like, it's not really all that impressive anymore. The jokes are still funny, but being a game, unlike like a normal episode of South Park, yeah, you haven't really got to put much effort in. You know, like, you have to actually put effort into getting to the jokes. You have to actually play the game. If you play the game to death, like a lot of people have, like you just don't want to play it again. So it's not really a Twitch-worthy game. You know, it really wouldn't do well on Twitch, just by virtue of its very nature, it just wouldn't.
We stand
so,
my faith is my shield.
We stand ready.
So honestly, it is the kind of game that you'd want to play, like in the Discord, like stream to like the private audience of only people who like want to watch it. You know, doing it on Twitch would probably only like really hurt my numbers. Just a much more vulgar Borderlands. Yeah, that's a pretty good way to put it, actually. I'm going to have to build a machine cult after if I'm going to get anything out of it. But I tend to be very infantry focused.
Direct us to the enemy.
Okay, so they're getting up to scratch.
There is no such thing as
I'm going to attach him to the other unit of Space Marines. We're going to go forward with this.
Received.
Charge with courage and honor.
Get the sergeants in to make sure that these assault marine squads actually, you know, survive 5 minutes. Get this servitor up the front so that when we take new points, we can keep them.
Is at your disposal.
The story wasn't your thing. Yeah, exactly. Like this was my biggest issue with Borderlands and that. Particularly with Borderlands 3 because I just failed to get into it, and you know, anybody who watched this stream, like, I was not a happy bunny when I was playing that game. But you know, committed to a thing, so we had to do it. Just but at least like having like you know, hindsight on it now. You know, the game was actually quite good in the actual gameplay department of it. You know, like. I actually quite like. I enjoyed my time with it in a gameplay sense. I think I was just so weighed down, bogged down by the story and just how fucking terrible it was. that you know I just really didn't like it. Like, I just couldn't. There, probably enough for that. But no, I quite like Borderlands. Always have. I played it to death though. Is my issue. I saw the trailers and went, never delved deep. Yeah, to be fair. Yeah, Borderlands 2 is like a fucking classic. I love that game to bits. Like when it came out on console, I have this really distinct memory of it when it came out. Because it came out around November time, which is I didn't finish building that. Because it came out around November time, which is about when my birthday is, and came home. I think it was on my birthday, school day. Was shit. And just resting on the TV unit where the obviously where the PlayStation was resting the fucking collector's edition of Borderlands 2, which had only just come out, and yeah, the nerdgasm was strong. I was so happy, and you know, it was one of my foremost memories of like, because Mum hid that very well. He's doing one of his kill animations. There it is. Mum hid the fact that she knew I wanted that very well, to the point where I was convinced that she wasn't really listening. No, get away, get away, get away. Now we'll just kind of fall over with all the anti-armor weaponry I've got going. There we go. Yes, my lord. That's it, yeah. So yeah, that's one of my favoured memories from my birthday. The sheer surprise of it, because I was an idiot teenager and just didn't see it coming. Oh, yeah. And just I could show you how to actually build stuff in... Yeah, actually... See if actually, like, because it's completely very much like Victor. Yeah, I get that impression. It's like one of those, like, it's a risk to try and get into the really, try and get into it, because it's one of those games where you either really like it or it's just not for you. I get that impression for it. It's like, I mean, it's very fortunate, because obviously I like basically all the Paradox stuff, and you know, if you can enjoy EU4, you can enjoy basically anything that Paradox make. But I think personally, at least for me, it's very different. Like, I may be the worst when it comes to Paradox games. I'm definitely the worst at Hoi 4, but I enjoy Hoi 4 a hell of a lot more than I enjoy EU4, to be honest. It's just kind of how I feel about the whole thing. But you know, if you can get through, learn, and somewhat enjoy EU4, you can do any of the Paradox games. Keep that going. Keep forgetting that. Everything else here is basically as it used to be. We stand ready. Let's make sure that we're all gathered together. So he's now. Everyone is where they need to be, or at least are going to be where they need to be. So let's just push through and get this done.
Moving out. Commencing attack.
On alert, brothers. The enemy must be nearby.
I'm going to build the turrets just to make this a hard point.
Shall be a glorious one for the Imperium.
Make sure we keep the melee units reinforcing.
The enemy is attacking.
To me, my brothers! This day shall be a glorious one for the Imperium.
So they're going to jump for that builder and he's weak. Or they could just ignore him. That's cool too.
We stand ready.
I'm going to jump them out because they're getting hurt. Awesome, I lost the sergeant. It takes ages to replace. Pull them all the way back, because here's the thing with assault squads. They're good for keeping the enemy tied up, but they die quick as a result, because they are often the focus of all the enemy's fire, as is typical of melee units. So.
Feel my wrath.
So, okay, we've got enough money for another 2 now, so let's get 2 more. There's the thing about Space Marines, like, the way they're designed in the tabletop very much reflects how they're in the game, in that Space Marine, you can make a 3-meter backflip and out. Don't worry, you're not the first person to make that joke, Neffy. we had our collective group therapy bitching session about Dawn of War 3 earlier, and we will be playing all of Dawn of War except for 3, because 3 doesn't exist. Can't convince me that it does.
Establish a forward base at this location to facilitate ready access to Space Marines.
Probably a good idea.
Many to ensure the war boss is dead and buried.
You're gonna bury his body? That's nice of you. Yeah, I do have...
Thermoplasma generators are available.
Yes, Lord.
They will provide us greater access to power.
Awaiting orders.
Oh,
Faith
them all
and
there.
duty.
Yes, my lord.
I'll build a machine cult there so I can field vehicles forward.
Here to serve.
Everything else is about where it needs to be. Give you got someone that give you infinite keys. Oh, it was an exploit, I think. I can't remember exactly what it was. It needs 700 indeed.
I shall obey.
Let's grab this. I'll build a chapel barracks and a machine cult forward, I think. A couple of turrets just to keep it safe when we roll off.
We are the Emperor's chosen.
The other
Praise the Emperor.
submarines. Oh, they're right there, good. Sure,
Praise
everyone
the
is.
Emperor.
We're missing a marine there, but I think that's about it. Yes, it is. Cool.
We stand ready.
My
Add
faith
them
is
into
my
that
shield.
group. Going to move them forward a bit, and he is going to
Yes,
work
Lord.
tirelessly and faithfully to build the forward base. 3. Saw the
Yes,
vid.
Lord.
So
I shall obey.
it really did. This was a great. Do I actually have to? Can't we place
I shall obey.
neutral, no owner? Ah, there we go.
Initializing
Let's get
build
closer to it, I guess.
protocol. With all due
There. Get that built up.
On alert, brothers. The enemy must be nearby.
Right. Get those two. Right. We're gonna keep going forward then. Cool. Water, my favourite.
Attacking as ordered.
So yeah. But yeah, it's Dawn of War 3 was
While the enemies of the Emperor still
I really
draw
didn't
breath,
like it. Like it very much wasn't what I was hoping for.
The
Like
Emperor
as I said, I think
protects.
they tried to please two
Initiating attack protocol.
fan
23.
bases and they failed to impress either of them. So yeah, from tank ships, subs, planes, and giant orbital sound
Taking
nice.
damage.
To be fair, that does sound like something I would quite enjoy. Let's pull them backwards. The infantry invade first. Oh, so you can't go straight that way. You have to go all the way around. Because of course.
Here to serve. I will
Machine
do
cult
as
there.
you ask.
Today
Start
the enemy
deploying en masse, I think.
Moving out.
Pull over dead, there it is. Killer cans are no longer an issue. Okay, but I'm not going to throw the melee infantry into him straight away.
This day
go.
shall be a glorious one for the Imperium.
Commencing attack.
I despise these names, but go on.
Here to serve. Build routine 721.
Those, sure.
Today the enemy shall know fear.
Cleanse. Purge. Kill.
We're just going to keep pushing, I think, until we hit the end.
Commencing attack. Rush.
I'm going to got to kind of micromanage the submarines that it forces me to use.
Enemy is attacking.
As a Total Annihilation, it kind of... I think it's very much in the old style of Total Annihilation. But I have very, very faint memories of playing it because I only played it for a short while. And I definitely didn't play it at the time because, you know, I'm only 25. I think Total Annihilation was very much before my time. So, yeah, but no, I played a bit. It's kind of, from what I've seen. When continue... Oh, yes. I'm looking to be back on track because, you know,
Look
the
at that
April...
monstrosity.
Well,
I have heard legends of such beasts, but I've never seen one. Men, concentrate your fire.
yeah, I forget that
We must
charge is
take this
really
creature
long.
down.
Let's see what we've got to play with. We've got Smite. Let's see what that does anything. Use the sergeants to keep morale up.
Today the enemy shall know fear.
It's going to be a hard fight either way we go about it, so... But yeah, I'm looking to be back on the schedule now because, you know, Easter holidays have ended and I no longer have a reason to be lazy. So
Praise the Emperor.
yeah, probably Saturday, for first part of the stream Saturday will be the continuation of Deus Ex.
Beware.
That's my intent, I'm sticking to it. Oh, we're working on it. There's some repairing it. Fuck you guys. There's a war boss. Okay, we're running out of dudes. Let's get back. We should be able to kill this war boss actually quite easily. And he's in a kill animation, so he's not taking any damage. Because he's being engaged by attack marines, which I really don't want him doing. Okay, he's behind, so there we go. But, I'm looking to get back on schedule, so yeah, Saturday will be when that's happening. Empathy added via software updates. Still need to make another pass to that emote. For those wondering, a friend of mine who sometimes appears on the channel, goes by Carvax, is identical, well, maybe not identical, but is similar in temperament and in look to Adam Jensen, main protagonist of Deus Ex. As a result, we like to take the piss. Because, you know, like Adam Jensen, Carv is also a broody, you know, often callous, secretly... Oh wow, he just got evaporated.
My faith is my
secret, like, callous but secretly a nice guy sort of person. I've got plenty of rockets, so these looted tanks shouldn't be a problem. Because of course, whenever a specific Space Marine dies, it's always a guy holding a special weapon.
On alert, brothers. The enemy must be nearby.
Empathy is a system bug. I mean, to be fair, they keep going in Mechanicus. They do keep going into that. Fucking. Oh Christ! There must be another bloody dude to tank nearby. Yeah, there it is.
My faith is my shield.
The war tracks now don't really last against us. Gather together, go forward. Kill the fucking tank, because this is what's killing you. They keep making the joke in Mechanicus that, like, oh yeah, I have empathy, I just often choose not to use it, which completely defeats the object of empathy. Yeah. Wannabe robots be wannabe robots. Oh, I constantly think that everyone agrees. Yeah, so he is a nice guy. I mean, I find him abrasive, but I feel like that's more. He's not. Well, I'd say I find him abrasive. That's probably too extreme. But I think we just have a little bit of a personality conflict. You know, I'm very impulsive. And, you know, can be quite emotionally driven, despite the fact that I'm, you know, very much a big thonker, and I like to approach things methodically. And he's very much the opposite. He's very people focused. He can be quite diplomatic. He generally tries to bring out the best, but you know, he can be very obstinate, and you know, when we butt heads, it's a fucking clash for the ages. Well, I play Iron Hands, so empathy really isn't their strong point. Yeah. God, they make Skitarii look damn like fucking. They make the Skitarii look like fucking Mother Teresa by comparison. I'm gonna keep going and make sure we've cleared out everything, because this is one of those AIs that likes to cheat and spawn units even when they don't have money. Yeah, that's the point. The Ascension perk in Stellaris, Justin, that says the flesh is weak, is literally the motto of the Iron Hands chapter of the Iron Hands chapter of Space Marines. That's their battle cry. The flesh is weak, and they're all about extensive modification in the cybernetic realm. There's a legit origin of that. Yeah, no, they ripped it directly from that. There's a thing, like, a lot of Stellaris is influenced by 40k, a lot of it.
Moving out.
Like, this wasn't flesh, again, missing the point, but yeah. The whole point is that, though they are creatures of flesh, they are choosing to abandon it. The idea, because flesh is superior and all, the flesh is superior. You know, tech and steel are superior in all ways to soft flesh. And, you know, Justin very much strikes me as a guy who liked the villain of Conan. So, oh, Conan, there's a film we got to watch on movie night. I don't know how I'm going to find all these clearly copyrighted movies, but I will find a way and I will pirate the shit out of it. I think, yeah, we're nearly there. Got to push up this hill, I'm going to kill some shit. There's one spaceman who keeps flopping over dead in this squad.
Orders received.
Beware the alien.
What unit is this, and why is it dying constantly?
Onward to glory. We are the Emperor's chosen.
Get back. Let other units take the floor, Jesus, because clearly can't keep it together, lads.
While the enemies of the Emperor still draw breath, this day shall be a glorious one for the Imperium. Praise the
Now this unit can't keep it together. Now you get back. Here's the thing about Orc buildings, they are all fortified, and as a result, destroying Orc bases is always a fucking casualty fest, no matter what you do. I mean, approaching with armor is probably the smart idea, but you know.
Moving out.
Infantry are just better in my opinion. Well, at least for Space Marines. Because I've not needed anything else this entire mission. We're done? Are we done? Done? Don't tell me I've got to kill the... There's buildings down here and I've got to kill them. Because of course.
Praise the Emperor.
He's up to there. Just to do secretly streams Tech Priest. Einhand. Over there when but because Ferrus Manus fought a beast that metallizes hands, though he's still moving from. Oh, I see. Well, no, because you know, being one with the armor is far more superior. Because you know, armor is often clunky and restrictive and doesn't mesh well when you could literally just be one with the machine. And you know, you don't have to fit organs into a machine and all that kind of stuff. So instead of having internals that you need to protect, you can devote the entire system purely to warfare. It's much more efficient, I'm telling you. And grab it, but you just make proper hands. Come on. It's not like life has a monopoly on hands, Jesus. The punchy robot's having a fight. Punch. She just has a heart attack and falls over. I love the way the killer cans die. It's just so ridiculous. Will make your skin steel? Yeah, true.
Recovery of his gene seed, along with Brother Michaelis.
Like, at that point, why not
was
just
left of them
be in a
save
steel
for
robot?
ash. They burned from the inside out.
Anything else to report?
The Orc war boss has been destroyed, but we saw a dropship leave the area. Captain, she bore the 8-pointed star.
The mark of the ruinous powers of chaos.
Whoa,
the forces of chaos. Here? Now?
Thank you,
Tartarus has endured several Black Crusades led by the terrible Chaos Champions. However, it seems too convenient that Orcs and these heretics are here at the same time.
Because of course.
But I trust the eyes of our scouts. Isidore, do you sense anything?
No, I have sensed nothing.
Lies.
But if the nature of Brother Tantius's demise is any indication, then they would have a sorcerer with them who would be capable of masking their presence. Especially with all the background static caused by the Orcs.
You literally saw one.
Ah, our honored guest has arrived. Who is it?
Oh, here we go.
Inquisitor Mordecai Toth.
The living
protector
vibe
of the
check.
Emperor's divine word and will.
Is he here to take command?
An Inquisitor may have near unlimited power. Yes, he can commission the service of any Imperial citizen, from peasant to planetary governor, but...
I shall not cede command of my Space Marines to him, Inquisitor or not.
Then why is he here? Does he suspect one of us of heresy?
He is an Inquisitor.
By the way, in the book, that character, the random sergeant, has a name.
If chaos taints
It's
this
just-
world,
he's just a sergeant
then that
here, though.
explains his presence. We must share with him what we discovered. Inquisitor Toth, welcome to Tartarus.
Thank you, Captain. But we have little time for courtesies. You and your men must leave Tartarus. Now.
Also, I like. He does look a bit like Tarka's nephew. That is very true. It's yeah, I like how he's. Inquisitors normally aren't they aren't gene seeded or really like improved in any way. That's like anywhere on the level of Space Marines. But he's just as big as them, which is odd. We are at 11:15. So I'm going to take a few minutes to see if I can't get this chat box working. But yeah, if you're going to go get a drink, now's probably a good time. Right, I'll switch over to the interim. Off. I think we will just come back to this. I haven't got an awful lot of time, unfortunately. You know, we're getting to 12 and I do need to go to bed because I do need to go to work tomorrow. So yeah, I'm going to try and get this chat box working. If you're going to get a drink, now's a good time. We'll return for a little bit more Dawn of War before we go off. Gotta be fucking with me. I found the solution that fast. I think that should be enough for now. So we ain't got all that much time left, so we should have time for at least one more mission. And I don't remember this game being particularly long. Should be able to cap it off probably with the next stream I do of Dawn of War, but yeah, get there. Right. Yeah, there it goes. The chat box is now working. So only 3 hours in, and the stream is now working as intended.
The war boss has been defeated, but this war is far from over. The orcs still threaten to overcome several major population centers, and could mass more than a large enough force to overwhelm the Imperial armies present on the planet. We have bought time, nothing more. But this is no longer a primary concern.
There we go. Let's get in there. Wow. Orcs are fucking everywhere. Lovely. We've transited north out of the cities, of course. And yeah, it is just a morphed map of Europe, but you know, alien planets be alien planets. Spooky.
This warp storm could trap us here for a month or for a century. We cannot risk staying here. We must evacuate Tartarus before it arrives in 3 days' time.
The Imperial Guard and Holy Fleet can attend to the evacuation. The Blood Ravens have more pressing matters to contend with.
Such as?
I believe agents of chaos have taken strong root here.
I sense no taint here. Even so, were there a chaos presence on
When me and the boys walk into a sausage festival club, I sense no taint here.
Fighting them. We could wish no worse fate for either of our enemies, and to be trapped with the other. But we must leave here now.
That is a matter for my brothers and I to decide. We will use these 3 days to settle our affairs and satisfy our suspicions. Meanwhile, you have our transports to facilitate evacuation.
Colonel Brom, the captain and I must attend to matters of faith. If you would leave us, please.
But surely this involves me as a...
Forgive me for not being clear on the matter. I said please, when in fact I meant now.
Yeah, Tosh makes no shit.
This does involve him. You should have shown him a modicum of respect.
Captain, you uncovered extensive heresy on your home world. Cyrene, was it?
That has nothing to do with the events here on Tartarus.
But I believe they do. You requested the Inquisition undertake an exterminatus, the destruction of your planet's entire populace, which we obliged.
I still
to sound
fail
less
to
happy
see,
about that.
Captain, I am not questioning your loyalty, but I must wonder if your actions on Cyrene have not affected your judgment. Perhaps that was a poor choice of words.
You think?
I merely fear that you might see chaos, but it does not exist. I ask that as a loyal subject of the Emperor,
No, they don't
you
steal.
serve the
but,
Imperium's interest before your own agenda.
their excuse is that other people like them so much they
Captain,
donate war gear to them.
Inquisitor had
Of
no right
course.
to speak to you in such manner. But perhaps he is right. The
Well, I think
coming
that- I
storm
think
will
Tarkus'
trap
model is
our
literally
enemies
based
here
off
where
the
they can
Dawn of War
consume one
Sergeant.
another.
And
You're
what
right
if
on
the
that
forces of chaos escape the system before the storm? No. We will not use this freak occurrence as an excuse to avoid our enemies, or our responsibility. They are here for a reason, and we will discover that reason.
We are with you, brother Captain, as always.
The humans
Sneaky.
are coming your way in full force. You should hear their heavy feet long before you see them, and smell them long before that.
Oh, superiority complex. Yes, all Eldar sound depressed, that's the point. Just in case anyone's wondering.
Orbital Command has indicated the dropship landed in this general proximity. We've discovered a path, Captain. It's obvious someone has been digging here.
Cut by orcs?
I've never seen an orc lend such a careful hand to a task.
If it wasn't orcs, then it must be the forces of chaos.
Yes, must be, because they're known for being sneaky, aren't they?
We will follow this path and discover the truth behind what has transpired here.
Space elves, yes. Not my favourite. Oh, cool. I have 4 heroes. Favourite. Right, we're dealing with elves here, so we're going to need detectors, so
Sacred
servo skulls.
artifact will now be available to us.
Oh, cool.
Construct it, and we will have access to powerful abilities.
Oh, yeah, this mission, it's super fucking stingy on the,
I am prepared.
He's got a plasma pistol, but also a bloody thunder hammer.
While the enemies of the
An
Emperor
open mind.
He's the toughest,
still
you'll be
have
forward. You're the
seconds
weakest,
built
you're
on
going to be with
vast
the unit.
Unguarded. Scouts in position.
Yes, most
We're going to
beneficent
get
one.
an armory, because better weapons, and then we're going to get one more Space Marine squad, and then we're going to head out. Like slaves, am I right? Yeah.
Yes, my lord.
What we're
Scouts
after.
advance.
This map is super
Yes, my
fucking
lord.
stingy with the requisition. We need a detector who...
An open mind is like a fortress
Walk
with its
softly.
gates unbarred and
Carry a
unguarded.
big gun.
Scouts
I
ready.
don't believe any of these units are, so we're going to need to take a strategic point so we can get a servo skull
Marine
out.
squad ever vigilant. I am prepared.
I stand ready.
Beware the alien.
I'm going to put him there because he does crazy melee damage, so we're going to keep Tarth up front, I think.
None
Similar to
can
how they brought a
stand
god
before
in.
the Inquisition. None
Nicely
can
put,
stand
yeah.
before the Inquisition.
Again, I still much prefer the TTS term of murder fucked.
It will be
I
done.
am ready
get out
to
there.
pass judgment.
I think there's one here, and it's actually quite secluded, so
Objective
we're going to go
marked.
there, although it looks
Space
to be a bit of a
Marines,
trap.
advance.
I am prepared.
You know, I'm the player character, so I should be fine. They need to compensate by acting like a massive god complex. I mean, again, not incorrect. I mean, this doesn't look like a trap at all.
Strategic point identified.
Put that in.
Yes, Lord.
Send one of these guys
As
down
you
there.
wish.
I mean,
I await your instructions.
she wants their souls. Yep. Oh lord, just there's so much about the Eldar that is just fucked, or as they would say, boned.
Here to serve.
Let's get some.
I will do as you
Yep.
ask.
One. Actually, we'll get 2 because we're about to get a
Position
thing.
secure.
How can I serve?
None can
Everybody's
stand
on one,
before the
you there.
Inquisition.
I await
You
your
build a listening post. I need that many. Have you ever heard of this? What? Pt.1? No, I have not. That's a new one to me.
I am ready to pass judgment.
I've got a armory now, so I should be able to have sniper rifles. You know, when these become active. Because when a power generator goes online, it just jumps your power by a little bit. It gives you a little lump sum.
I am
Which is something that
prepared.
Requisition doesn't do.
Space Marines, advance.
Now, I don't feel comfortable with advancing
On my
until
way.
we have
None
can
stand before
some
the Inquisition.
server skulls
Yes,
going.
Lord.
I can't build until I get a really. I'll get that into a monastery. Oh, for Christ's sake, fine. We have to sit for a little longer then.
Yes,
Whilst that
most
monastery upgrade goes up.
beneficent one. Yes,
Pull him
most
back.
beneficent one.
Need 75 power, and we've got 2 generators.
Yes, most beneficent one.
I won't do it right now. I want another listening post up before we commit to another generator, because we'll have no issue generating power with generators, but we will have issues generating requisition. So, but we'll push forward and see what we
Today
run
the
into.
enemy
You never know,
shall
we might
move
actually
here.
have a detector among us.
My aim shall not falter.
Teachers, think of Fallen Empires. Think of a Fallen
Orcs,
Empire that literally gangbang
attack!
the end of the cycling thing. Yeah,
My aim shall not falter.
that's in essence what they are. They were demoralized. That means they're being shot at
Wait.
by something that wasn't us.
They weren't attacking.
On
They
my
were
way.
fleeing.
What could
I will see
inspire
that it
fear in
happens.
an orc?
Lots of things. Get that second sniper rifle out.
Here to serve.
Get a servitor out
I shall
to build that
obey.
listening post. You are now an actual gun, so you give me a little more. Ooh, that chat box is a little tall. Let's. And down. Oh, that's a lot. There we go. I like games because this is the default view, right? But what you can do, you can go. If I which button is it? That one, is it control? No. Shift? I can't remember the button, but you can literally just... There it is. If you press Alt, you can bring the camera all the way down to the ground, which is really cool, actually. Unless you see some shit in, like, real close. Here, for example. You can actually get, like, in and amongst your troops, which is pretty cool. But the problem is it'll stay like that if you don't actually move it again. But if you press backspace, much better. You can stop yourself from being massively disorientated, which is... Thank God they included that, because, you know, it's very motion sickness inducing.
I await your
right, seeing as we've now got a bit of position, we're going to get the other 2 generators down.
My faith is my
and the moment I move for the next one, we're going to run into the space elves, and I want a detector for that, so... I think we actually need a position... Yeah, we can actually get one now. Grab that, pop it there, we'll pop it on a 2 so I can keep it out of the fight. My power needs 50. Well, as soon as that goes up, I should have enough. I just spent power. I'm a clever boy. I think this jumps by like 50 when it completes. Yeah, so I've nearly got the record. Look at me being efficient. So
it will be done.
Need one more unit for Gabriel Angelos, who was just called Force Commander.
This day shall be a glorious one for the Imperium.
Right, let's move forward for the next one then.
Advance! Something is not right here.
No shit.
These orc bodies do not look like they were dispatched by Imperial hands.
Well,
we must proceed with caution.
Keep saying chaos is about, so why have you suddenly gone quiet on that count?
Eldar, the Emperor
mistaken about the presence of the forces of chaos.
Be it Eldar or chaos, I will have answers either way. Press on.
Pull him back, because I want him to infiltrate. Because I often forget that you have to actually enable that.
While the enemies of the Emperor still draw breath, there can be...
Okay, Eldar, they're fun. Basically, so again, for those who aren't familiar, Eldar are... They're among older races in the galaxy. Their whole deal is that they were a galaxy-spanning... They were a galaxy-spanning empire that... through their own fault, completely fell on its face. Basically, they, how should I put this gently? They achieved, like, full transcendence. Like, they achieved a society which was, like, so perfect in the greedy sense that no one needed a job. Like, drones and automated systems did everything. So, it just became a game of satisfying one's own personal dreams and aspirations. Problem is with the Eldar, when left to their own devices, they basically, well, they became really depraved.
Scouts reporting for duty.
Did I not?
Beware, apothecaries are standing by to tend to our wounded.
Now, Guardians are
them
about.
at the sacred artifact.
I'm gonna build a turret here for defensive purposes, because if they're gonna, I think there's a route out this way somewhere. No, I think they're gatewaying in somehow.
My faith is my
that's
shield.
Taken. I've got some scouts coming in.
Scouts here.
So yeah, when they were left to their own devices, the Eldar decided that, you know, when they were sating their own desires and ambitions, this initially, you know, it initially started out fairly innocuous, fairly standard for what you'd expect. Spiritual learning, probing the depths of their souls and, you know, what being alive truly was, and that led to a chain of events that ended in basically Eldar society became a murder orgy fest, which is honestly the nicest way I can put it. As Nobbit says, yeah, their appetites really. They became gluttonous, lecherous,
while the
murderous,
the Emperor still draw breath,
creatures really.
And
the result of this was I'm going to transfer these guys over to Space Marines when I get the money. But they basically engaged in so much debauchery that they... Oh, wow, really? Okay, there must be a gate here. I haven't seen it because I didn't have a detector with me at the time. And I've lost mine. Yeah, right there, I'm betting. As you can see, the Eldar like to use teleportation to get around the field quickly and employ hit-and-run tactics as a result. Build. gonna put
With all due
turret
haste.
down that. Right, it's absolutely here.
Yes.
Yeah, they literally like they got so unsatiable with
On my
their
way.
really nothing. Where are they coming from then? Get him there.
Follow my lead.
Oh, right, they don't last very long. They're not infinite in this game, right. So yeah, they ended up killing and murdering so much that in the warp, which is like this alternate dimension affected by emotion, there's a lot more to it than that, but that's just what we're going with for now. They caused so much pain and suffering that they spawned the fourth Chaos God by the name of Slanesh. This basically caused their core worlds to explode into a massive chaos portal known as the Golden I nearly fucked up hard. Known as the Eye of Terror, which is a giant gaping warp hole in space.
As you wish.
And it's where the original Eldar homeworlds were. We're going to get Plasma, because Plasma's really good against Eldar, because Eldar are all about heavy infantry.
Yes, most
Specialist
beneficent
infantry,
one.
more to the point. I think we've got enough for 2 more Space Marine squads, so we're going to crank them out and send them forward. I don't know where those forces came from then, because I can't find a gate anywhere, so we'll just keep going with what we got. So yeah. They were so debauched that they spawned a god of debauchery. And this basically led to a split in the Eldar Empire as it was at the time. And
Marine squad deployed.
sorry, yeah, the Eldar aren't about heavy anything.
Heresy grows
But
from idleness.
yeah.
How can I serve?
In effect, this led to a split in the Eldar race, right? One half, called the Craftworld Eldar, which are the guys we are fighting now, very much wanted to recapture the greatness of their former empire, and as such have devoted themselves to strict paths of mental discipline and martial prowess over their. I believe Eldar are actually immortal. Yeah, I think they're like actually immortal, not just really long-lived. They
What is it you desire? My
so they
knowledge is at your disposal.
like I say, they devote themselves wholly. They utilize what's called soul stones. You see that little red thing on his chest there, because the thing with Slanesh, the god they spawned, it made it so that it automatically received all the souls of all Eldar who up and die. So to prevent Slanesh from auto-drinking everyone's souls, they utilize soul stones, which capture their soul essence and keep it from drifting into the warp. They collect them after their physical bodies die. Their soul stones are collected off their front. They get put into what's called an infinity matrix, and they're not immortal. They merely have exceptionally long life. Okay, that's what's called an infinity matrix, where they just kind of have souls around, like swirling round and round in an infinite cycle. Lovely, I know. And eventually they're kind of like reborn. Ishi is about right. Yeah. Yeah, but that'll offend the transgenders, but you know, Slanesh defies gender. Like, Slanesh is genders that don't exist. Slanesh is genders that can't exist. There. And then they're kind of like reborn, because Eldar, due to their massive debauchery, use their reproductive parts so much they actually broke them. Eldar find it extremely difficult to conceive new children.
What is it you desire?
They do it, but as a result, their population dynamics are, so shall we say, low. Because they can conceive children, it's just really hard to do so. So largely their bodies are recreated rather than reborn. Ow. So yeah. That's the Craftworld Eldar. They're very strict and they want to rebuild their empire. The other guys are the Dark Eldar. They basically, or Drukhari as they are now known, because apparently you can't just call them dark because, I don't know, racist, I guess. But, yes, apothecaries, I want a few of those. They're like group healers. I'll get these. Got enough for a squad, so we'll get an apothecary down and attach it to him.
Yes. There. On my way. On my way.
Yeah, apparently,
Apothecary ready.
Dark is too on the nose for GW for saying, oh, but you can't just make them evil. The whole point is that they're ambiguous. So they literally just gave them a new name in the Drukhari. Black Elder. Damn it, now I said it. No, Games Workshop made me racist.
Squad deployed. We stand ready.
Now they're ready.
How can I serve?
What is it you desire?
Give the Apothecary to them, because the Apothecary's...
The fallen shall be forever remembered.
The Apothecary is basically the Doctor Marine, characterized by his white suit. They're like, there's like 4 of them in an entire chapter of Space Marines, and their whole thing is that they provide medical aid and recover gene seed when a brother falls, because they can't. The whole point of gene seed, which is what turns them into Space Marines, can't be produced anymore, so they recover it after every brother dies. There. More to the point. Yeah, the Drukhari are horrifically like evil tormentors, slavers, all round not great guys. And the idea is that they stave off Slanesh drinking all of their fucking souls by committing heinous acts of debauchery and sin in an effort to please Slanesh, who is the god of debauchery and sin, and really the god of emotional extreme. That's her whole point. There.
How can I serve?
They often go out on fast-paced raiding excursions in order to recover more willing participants in their diversity program.
Dark Reapers, fall back. We need Rhino transport tanks. They will allow us to get through unscathed and attack the Dark Reapers on those cliffs above.
So basically,
Rhino transports are now available.
There.
Build them at the machine cult.
Yes, of course. You're going to require me to build a machine cult after I've already filled out my base. Nice, awesome. Well, sorry. Can I fit one there? Yes, I can. Plonk that there, then.
I will see
so
that
now I have to... Okay, he's dead. Nice. So, this is all one passage. Yeah, this is all sealed up. So I can kind of sit the army there and be fine. More artwork, yeah. I mean, to be fair, the Drukhari art scene is
at your command. We will move
progressive. I'll call it.
Enemy positions.
It's the nicest I can put it. I'll be honest. Well, I suppose while we're sat here, we can can research and upgrade. Oh, we lost one. Impressive. Lost 2. Are you literally? Oh, for fuck's sake!
How can I serve? It will be done. How can I serve?
Yeah, trust the Imperial Guard commander to just stand in the line of enemy fire, dickhead.
How can I serve?
What kind of change with the introduction to Primaris? Way higher level of GT purity. Yeah, because well, not only with Rabute Gilliman being a thing, and I'm going to go with Rabute because it's slightly less silly than Robute or Rowboat. So yeah.
Yes, my lord.
Yeah, with his introduction, obviously, I think the idea is that they can now manufacture more gene seed. That and, well, obviously, fresh gene seed is more pure and it corrects a lot of the mutations.
The fallen shall be forever remembered as the Emperor's finest.
There. I swear, we shouldn't use dark because it could be misinterpreted. Just leads to more people misinterpreting it. I know, right? Like, the implication that, oh, people could misinterpret it leads to people misinterpreting it. It's great. Okay, so now I need to build rhinos. Awesome. I can research more squad cap. I'm already at 20. Build another one of those. I've only got 3 points to feed off of, which is annoying. I can only build 2 rhinos right now, so I'll have to make peace with what we can do.
The fallen shall be forever remembered as the Emperor's finest.
So that's 2 apothecaries we got going. So got some healers in the mix. The range isn't great, but you know, it's enough to increase survivability. There's one. Another one. We're upgrading the population. Don't know if I'll need it. But I kind of don't want to send them through 2 at a time. So.
Going straight to the front lines.
Grab you. Gone.
I shall
What
obey.
is it you desire?
Rhino transport deployed.
The other one.
Rhino
Cool.
here.
Send him forward.
We deliver into Rhino ready.
How can I serve?
But we'll mount up and we're going to get through. I think I've got up to 7 now. I want to send them, I want to say 4 at a time. Yeah, they're nice and cheap, so I'll just, I'll route them down here.
Rhino here.
What are your needs?
Rhino here.
I follow your commands. Apothecary here.
You're telling me rhinos don't have capacity for everyone in this
As the
squad?
Emperor's finest. As ordered.
Rhino here.
There we go. It's just finicky. Cool. Move him over. You up next. Yeah, it's actually a logistical operation in order to get these in. two. There's another one.
Rhino transport is prepared.
Praise the Emperor. For the Emperor.
Cool, can also apparently have all the Primarchs in a ship, just casually riding. I know, right? Like, just cool, just riding. Oh, by the way, I have this stuff that could literally save the Imperium, and I'm gonna waste it on experiments that might not work. Oh, Belisarius Core, what are you like?
Protects. Praise the Emperor.
Okay, so walk out and then walk back to it.
On alert, brothers.
Okay, so
the enemy must be nearby.
Far more
Agreed.
open ground.
Follow my lead. The Emperor protects.
And we're going to run back toward it. There we go, that's 3. Last. You can tell this game's quite old. Because, so the pathing is not perfect. And that's kind of a problem that plagues the first iteration of Dawn of War all the way through. The pathing was just never great, unfortunately. It just, you know, technology at the time really limited them on that one. Okay, we have 4 Rhino tanks loaded for Bear. We're going to send them up the end.
Straight to the front lines.
I am prepared.
I await your instructions.
He's waiting to be able to get through. Apparently, I've now lost infantry capacity, so I'm just going to increase that real quick. Oh, come on, people! Put the Red Bull Express up in this bitch. And off chance of getting raided by Chaos Pirates. Yeah, I know, right? Chaos Pirates raiding that would have hit the fucking treasure trove. But imagine the chaos gasm that they would have when they discovered that shit.
Dispatch me here. An open mind is like a fortress with its gates unbarred and unguarded.
Rhino transport is prepared.
Spit them out.
And await further orders.
Rhino transport
Send them all back so they can go get the others. Meanwhile, this force will press forward and wipe out the units on the cliffs.
Finished. No servant for the Emperor shall fall.
Good job I sent the apothecary units along on this one. Because, you know, heavy bolter just died because of course.
The enemies of the Emperor shall be destroyed. Attack!
And that's close enough for significant fire to get through.
Heavy fire.
Cool. So you can see even the heaviest Eldar units fall over at light small arms fire, although nothing about bolt is light, to be honest.
The battlefield awaits. Attack! What are your needs?
So we've got plasma pistols as well now, so most Eldar units will just kind of flop over dead, as they probably should.
Direct me to the injured.
It just came apart in me hands. And so we'll get up the end, we're going to take this.
Here to serve. I exist to serve.
Ooh, we're actually going okay. Got 2 more infantry squads and then 2 more apothecaries. We're just going to build those out. All the Primarchs is a keyword.
Apothecary ready.
Includes the Lost in the Purge, really. So we could still actually see a resurgence of them. We have no idea who they are.
Apothecary ready.
But obviously they're just kind of holding that in their bag of tricks, ready for whenever they want to pull that one out. But, you know, we'll see one day. Call Forgotten a Million. Literally a metric tons of gene seed. I know, right? God, the thought of that. I know.
Yes, my lord.
Like how nobody kind of looked at this sideways.
Awaiting orders.
Nicadia. Yeah, it would literally be I feel the disturbance of the Force moment.
Shall be forever remembered
Because
as the Emperor's
that
finest.
doesn't look fucking sus at all, does it? Hey guys, I showed up with huge amount of gene seed, including gene seed. You know this phenomenally limited resource that's incredibly precious.
Awaiting orders.
But it's including gene seed from Primarchs that were lost during the heresy,
Ready.
traitor Primarchs, and the Primarchs that nobody talks about and nobody wants to talk about, including their literal brothers, as we discovered. I mean, I'm just saying, if I were an Inquisitor, I'd be looking at that a little bit sideways, I'm going to be
What is it you
honest.
desire? What is it you desire?
Because, you know, the Mechanicus are not above scrutiny. They never have been. We're going to press on that way, except for you, you're just going to take
How can I
that.
serve? What is it you desire?
Grab everyone,
Yes.
including
Yes.
2 new lots. they're
What
they're
is it
already
you
coming up and
desire?
ready. So we're gonna start assaulting points whilst they get that one ready. You know what promising? Yeah, I know the vast majority of us do, but you know I got to cover my bases because not only obviously we've got Justin, for example, but others that might drift in who don't know, as well as anybody who might watch this VOD after the fact. You know, got to cover your bases. Which reminds me, I've got to update the YouTube channel. Cool, a Viper. Yeah, you basically don't see that no more.
Yes. Imperial Guard, charge!
The Emperor protects.
What is it you desire?
Today, the enemy shall know fear.
Apothecary here. The fallen shall be forever remembered as the Emperor's finest.
Okay, one's still building, and one I think has replaced its heater.
Strategic point identified.
I'll just take it already, yeah, bastards. One player is likely getting arrested by the custodians. I mean, fucking immediately, right?
Area secured.
I thought they were firing up the cliff. We're not receiving fire from up the cliff, I don't think. They teleport through and immediately just get lit up. Happy Bill noises. Done. They're done.
The battlefield awaits.
While the enemies of the
Beyond
Emperor still draw breath, there can be no
Position secure.
Keep securing these.
Protocol.
That's ready. Gonna push on.
Imperial Guard, charge!
What Imperial gun? I'm sorry, we're actual soldiers here. Gene. Oh, what are they called again? I remember. But yeah, see, from pre-Imperial days, I mean, that gene seed is like
The Emperor
the fucking
protects.
crowning jewel of their collection. Like, they would be on that stuff like flies on shit. Like, you'd best believe. Like holy hell, like
Yes. Imperial
they'd be on that
Guard,
shit like a redditor to a fucking body pillow, man. Like, you best believe.
Attack, men! Attack!
I often forget to watch the animations because they're really cool.
What is it you desire?
Oh, just place that.
On my way. Hold formation and attack.
Oh, it's like their vehicles are so light, plasma weapons waste them, which are traditionally an anti-heavy infantry weapon.
And attack.
That's how pathetic their vehicles are. Anemic, really. Yeah, unless you, yeah, I don't know if you figured out, but I really don't like the Eldar. I
Hold
just,
formation and attack.
not my thing. I'm gonna be honest.
The
You take that.
battlefield awaits.
Not you.
I am ready to pass judgment.
Why they gave you the job, man?
Judgment is at hand.
What, we can see up there? Damn. Oh, I suppose scouts. Warp spiders. Suicidal bastards, every one of them. Okay,
Yes,
ready?
most
Go to the next one.
beneficent one.
The fallen shall be forever remembered as
Holding
the
on.
Emperor's finest.
Scouts are predictably taking losses, but you know,
At least
as well.
we know that the Orcs and Eldar are not in league together.
When
Set a
one
random
enemy
space marine.
attacks another,
The
it
fallen
does
shall
not
be
mean they
forever
aren't in
remembered
league.
as the Emperor's
Just that they are
finest.
living up to their lack of honor.
And those who lack honor deserve death.
Apothecary.
Imperium.jpg right there. Ooh, there's another one. Yes, I would like to become famous. Very much so. Just not like that. Fucking machines.
The enemies
Oh,
of
teaching
the
in the min.
Emperor
Oh,
shall be
okay, so that's a
destroyed.
fucking apothecary. So replace him. Yeah, if you lose the hero unit that's embedded in your squads, you have to rebuild that hero unit all the way through. You can't just reinforce them. Which is a massive pain in the ass. Makes sense, but massive pain in the
Imperial
ass.
Guard, charge! Hold formation and attack.
And that should die pretty quickly. Like I say, all orc bases are fucking fortified to the teeth.
Imperial Guard, charge! The
Shadow,
Emperor
thank you, Shadow
I will
Keepers.
see that it happens.
Which is an overly edgy name for them, but you know,
Yes, most
welcome to 40k.
beneficent one.
Everything is in some way
Initializing
edgy.
build protocol.
Yes.
Oh, come on, scroll. Where's... He got built. Yeah, there he is.
The battlefield awaits.
Jump in that, and we'll transport him to the front.
The Emperor protects. Hold formation and attack.
Okay, as soon as the heavy bolt is set up, and yeah, things die pretty quickly, because heavy bolters apparently fire with such frequency that even buildings can't stand up to them, which is funny to me.
Yes, most beneficent one.
Imperial Guard, charge! What is it you desire?
Right, so he's in there.
Final transport is prepared.
Drive him up to here,
What
and
is
we're
it
going to
you
reinforce.
desire?
Good stuff.
Attack, men! Attack! The Emperor protects.
Scouts here. Commencing
What is it you
over.
desire?
Everyone else is relatively well reinforced. Get them all back together.
Yes. What is it
Take
you
that
desire?
All that's up, and Servitor is
Yes,
there.
Lord. I exist to serve.
And the Eldar base is all the way up here. Ugh. And they're meant to be aces, but I swear they got raging. I mean, I love how the joke is that they're supposed to be asexual, but they're, except for the Dark Eldar, they're probably the most sexualized faction in 40k.
Securing objective.
Because, you know, gayness is funny.
The Emperor protects.
Rhino here.
Deploy.
We carry the virtuous.
Apothecary here.
There's a squad here that needs a dude.
No
How can I
servant.
serve?
At your command.
That's why they're all strung out.
Battlefield awaits.
How can I serve?
As he gets close, he just becomes a member of the squad. There it is.
The Emperor protects.
Let's go
Hold
wreck some face.
formation and attack. How can I serve? Hold
Well,
formation.
yeah, obviously we'll
and
cap it at the
attack.
end of this mission, but yeah. I mean, near 4 hours of Dawn of War 1 and we're 5 missions in. Yeah, I think this will be a 2-streamer game. I imagine that the first one was going to be quite quick.
Imperial Guard, charge.
I'm just watching the scouts.
Pull back and regroup. Hold formation and
And
attack.
they lost 3 in quick succession.
Yes.
And now they're dead. Oh well, just means they weren't strong enough. So now it's just the slog up the hill against the Eldar.
Imperial
Really
Guard,
aren't designed for this kind of
charge.
warfare.
Yes.
I lost another apothecary. I'm mad. You there.
Attack, men. Attack.
Apothecary ready.
I forget they build really quickly. I mean, just look at that. I mean, apparently Wraithbone is supposed.
Imperial Guard,
Hey, Justin.
charge.
Apparently, Wraithbone is supposed to be like some mythical, like magic material that's like super powerful and amplifies like the natural psycho powers of Eldar.
Establishing a secondary base near
Oh,
this
great.
location will give us a
Imperial
forward position
Guard,
with which
charge.
to engage the enemy.
That sounds like stupid talk. You should absolutely not do that, and we
Yes,
should just
Lord.
keep rolling forward.
Yes.
We were scheduled to arrive in about 1,000 years.
I will see.
Yeah.
Attack, men. Attack. The Emperor
I do love warp
protects.
spiders. They're just suicidal bastards.
It will be done.
God.
Attack, men. Attack.
They're just a waste of resources. They really, really are. Because they just spawn into the middle of a
Imperial
giant
Guard,
column of space
charge.
marines. I mean, look at this. Why would you teleport into the middle of this? Just like more space marines than is normally ever seen anywhere. Like I said, there's only 1,000 of them, so any concentration like this is considered a major force.
Hold formation and attack.
I wonder what that is over there. I'm not actually 100%. I can't even see those guys and they were just shot dead. I love it.
Attack, men. Attack.
I actually have an apothecary. Let's see if he can get to the front before we actually win. No, we're going up here and we're dealing with this.
Emperor's finest. They are finished.
Well, Dunzo, rolling on.
Emperor shall be destroyed.
Oh, bonus objective. No, it wasn't.
Healing. I care not which you see.
Yeah, and there are lots of Chaos Rhinos hanging around. What's this then?
Advance.
Oh, it's Eldar at least. On fire. Looks to have been blown up
I
recently.
sense danger. We will root it out.
Looks to be chaos.
I
Because
sense
of course
danger.
it's fucking chaos.
We will root it out.
Gonna roll the whole column forward. So, oh, you can actually see the players here. So, me, Ally, 2 sets of Eldar, and then Orc. Just making a very... yeah.
So the good Inquisitor senses no chaos here. How fortunate for the Imperium that such keen-eyed eagles stand vigil over her gates.
Ooh,
What dark
serious shade being thrown
crafts
right
have
now.
these Eldar invoked?
Thank you,
None.
not Tark.
At least not
Tarkus.
here. The servants of Chaos sacrificed this poor guardsman themselves.
To what end, Isidore?
I know not. I believe the altar is a marker, a waypoint in a map that leads elsewhere. Someone defaced many portions of text. Regardless of what Chaos seeks here, the altar requires a sacrifice of blood, or more likely, a life.
Brother Isidore,
Awesome.
You have an hour to study the altar. Document everything as is our tradition. Then burn it, lest its taint infect us all.
But Gabriel, there is
Anti-plot
much to
control.
learn from here. We should not be too eager to...
Learn what? Chaos does not teach. It misleads and it betrays. There is nothing to learn here, save for our next course. These transports have been damaged somehow. Make the repairs, and be quick.
I mean, the servitor with mechadendrites is a rare gift.
Well, brother Isidore, what betrayal have you wrought?
Such a good voice over your shoulder.
Harboring artifacts, despite your good captain's instructions.
Gabriel does not understand. He does not appreciate the significance of this.
Oh, but I do.
Quiet, heretic. Once I find what you seek, I will use it against you for the glory of the Emperor and my brothers.
Oh, that's what they all say.
You wish to deal me a harsh blow, to prove your strength and worth. Well, then come to me. I wait at Mount Korath.
Have no fear, sorcerer. I will be there.
Don't do what the sorcerer says, that's how they work, dickheads. Yeah, that was the plot thickens mission. Yeah, we're gonna have to cap it there. So, let's see, how many did we do? 6. Well, we're up to mission 6, should I say. Let me quickly check how many missions are actually in this game. Looks to be 11, so yeah, we're about halfway through. Yeah, this is very much going to be a 2-streamer by the looks of it. And then we can move straight on to Winter Assault, which is what I was hoping. What I was really... I don't know why it's called that. But yeah, well, I was really scared that this was going to end up being a game, a series of games where I would get really bogged down in the early games and we'd never make it... Like, we wouldn't make it to like Retribution in like 2 years. You know what I mean? We will finish it quickly. To be fair, I'm thinking about devoting the second section of Saturday to it, but I think I've already promised that to hit to Hoi 4. So yeah, I can't do that. If we're not doing any multiplayer tomorrow, I might see if I can't get in a few hours before Sash gets home tomorrow. Because now that we're both back at work, I get home before she does. So I might try to fit in like a couple hour stream before she gets home, and then we'll spend the day together. If we're not doing any multiplayer, which we still might do for obvious reasons. So yeah. At least this game, Dawn of War 1, we will finish quite quickly by the looks of it. Winter Assault, I can't remember how that goes, because we've got 2 campaigns to do with Winter Assault, because Winter Assault had 2. Had Orc Chaos and Imperial Guard Eldar. But we'll do both. Justin not being home? Ah, yes, of course. So yeah. But I might do that tomorrow. Might cap it off tomorrow, and if I somehow find myself a spare time, I might do the One Empire run. We see. But I wouldn't hold your breath on that one. So yeah, I'm glad that this is actually going quite quickly, thank God. Because I'll let you in on this one now. Because of an upgrade I gave Carve to his computer a little while ago, because his computer struggled to even run first Dawn of War. I'm just going to drop this a little bit. But he struggled. Not the first one, also that's a bit too far. He struggled to run the second Dawn of War, and we really wanted to play that one together because you can co-op Dawn of War 2, and we really wanted to because me and Carl like doing co-op stuff. I know we've still got like the Halo Wars thing going because we want to play all of Halo, but that's a thing that's ongoing. And I see you. Doesn't like it hurt. There. That's the thing that might happen. We'll want to get Halo back on track, but have to find time, unfortunately. So, yeah, that's the current state of things. So Saturday, first part of the stream will be the Adventures of Carl Jensen, and second part will be Hoi 4 in some capacity, either the multiplayer or because he's still not home. I can't remember if he's not home till the weekend. I'm sorry, I'm streaming brain is striking again. Or the One Empire run. I believe it's the One Empire run he wanted to see, so we'll do that. Sorry, I'm just going to switch this to a Space Marine that is less offensive. Yeah. Actually, everyone looks you best. There. Assuming he comes home on Saturday. Okay, so either the multiplayer or the One Empire run, depending on how we feel. There. That'll be Saturday. Sunday. Saturday. Okay, so it will be the One Empire run then. Sunday. Currently planned for Mechanicus, and then. Oh yeah, we need to discuss movie night because we're not sure what we're playing. Watching. Because if we don't come up with anything, I'll probably boot up something like Brutal Legend or Stick of Truth or something like that. I don't mind Stick of Truth, to be honest. Then we need to have a discussion about what we're watching, but we'll get to that. Floor is open, so suggestions. And then yeah, Sunday will be Mechanicus, and if I go on a bit longer, I might elect something else to play. I'm not sure what. I might start getting fucking. Civ out of the way, because obviously that America Civ game has been there for a while, so we'll want to cap that off. Actually, we should turn movie night into an open non-Twitch segment. Yeah, we just call it Mixer. But yeah, that's all that is then. So yeah, I'll be likely on tomorrow with a couple of hours. It won't be a very long stream, bear in mind. It won't be. It'll be like 2 hours, maybe 3, depending on how busy Sash gets at work. So yeah. So yeah, that's the game. And I look forward to seeing you. Okay? Okay. Oh. Old game.